The bill balloons the national debt. Some Republicans were considering a no vote, now plan to vote yes.
They've been looking for, guarantees of other pieces of legislation that they could not fit into this bill, things that the House of Representatives had approved that they would get another chance to do their bills. Also a guarantee of executive orders from the president. One of the biggest differences between the House bill and the Senate bill was the fact that in the original House bill, they were able to bar Medicaid benefits from going to illegal immigrants.
Fox's Chad program at the Capitol. That provision was taken out in the Senate version that the House is ready to approve. Sean Diddy Combs remains in jail in New York City after a federal judge refused to release him, awaiting sentencing on prostitution-related charges after the rapper and music producer was acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering. Combs' attorney Mark Agnifilo praised the jury.
They listened to every word, and they got the situation right. We're certainly right enough.
In Idaho, the man accused of murdering 4 college students admits he did it.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Brian Koberger will be sentenced in 3 weeks to life in prison. The plea deal lets Koberger escape the death penalty. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Your air conditioning and hydration, they're both coming into play. All clear on your radar right now, 70 degrees in the Circle City. I'm John Herrick. This report is brought to you by SeeBeyondTheAddiction.org. Here's what's trending at 6:02. No matter where you are in Indiana, warmer temperatures are headed your way.
We're into the warmer parts of our summertime season here in Indiana, and our normal high for this time of year is right around 86. So getting temperatures in the middle and upper 80s is about par for the course.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says some places in the state will have highs at 90 degrees or higher this weekend. State government workers are being told they need to return to work in person or work exclusively from home. Governor Mike Braun rescinded the hybrid remote work agreements this week for nearly 8,500 people. There are now 537 employees with active remote work agreements. The statewide average for gas today is $3.16 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy. That's down 7 cents from where it was on Monday. Former Washington Township trustee in Decatur County, Christian Rust, was arrested this week.
State police tell us that he stole thousands of dollars on his last day in office. Investigators say Rust disguised it as health benefits, but provided no insurance policy to receive those funds. Investigators say he also is responsible for removing multiple files from government computers. A special prosecutor from Henry County is handling this case.
That's Farron Franczak reporting from our news gathering partners at Wish TV. Rust is charged with theft and official misconduct. He's due in court next on September 15th. And tomorrow, the hot dog eating king, Joey Chestnut, returns to the annual Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. Chestnut lives in Westfield, and not only does he eat the hot dogs, he eats the buns, too. He discussed that process on Fox Business Network's The Clayman Countdown on Wednesday.
While I'm eating the meats, I dunk the bun in water. It's gross. It's not pretty, but it's the only way you can eat the bun fast.
Chestnut's record is eating 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. That's almost 18 pounds of food. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Your traffic and weather next. It's 6:04.
At Verizon, lock in our best price ever on the best 5G in Indianapolis and be the best you. Stream your favorite music on your morning commute. Get tickets to that new Blockbuster and save big with Verizon while you do it all. Switch today and pay $45 a month for a single line. That's right, just $45 a month when you bring in your phone with unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Stop by your nearest Verizon store today. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score Report dated 2H 2024. Your results may vary. Additional terms apply.
Fireworks are special. And throughout the year, you'll see many displays of the rocket's red glare. But this weekend, they're extra special. This weekend, as you stare into the evening sky with family and friends, take a moment to remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice and those who are currently serving, so that we may all live in freedom. 93 WIBC.
All right, south side, we do have a crash on the south side. It's northbound 65 past Keystone Avenue. No delay. The delay has cleared out because the right lane has just reopened. And the crash is on the right shoulder now. Looking at the west side, going from eastbound 74, like you're coming in from Brownsburg to 465. That is a crash on the exit ramp. The ramp is open. Also closed right now because of vehicle fires. Eastbound 70 between State Road 9 and the Hancock-Henry County line. Shut down right now, eastbound 70. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, Craig, good morning to you on this Thursday. Last work day for many here. No problems weather-wise. We're going to be sunny. It is going to be a bit warmer, but humidity still should stay in check this afternoon. Today's high up to 89. We'll start to kind of ramp up the humidity later tonight. So we'll call it mostly clear, a little stuffy overnight, a low down to 70. For the holiday tomorrow, I think we're dry, we're sunny, we're hot, we're a bit more humid. A high of 91 feels like temperatures into the mid-90s. And we should be dry for fireworks tomorrow night with temperatures right around 80 degrees. Saturday, sunny and hot, a high of 92. Sunday, sunny, hot, and humid. Again, a high of 92. Feels like temperatures around 100. We'll see rain chances returning by late Sunday night.
Thank you very much, Marcus. Right now, it is 6:07 Thursday morning. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A bunch of stuff out there to talk about in the world. And yet, I guess I can start with another Republican crying on camera. How convenient, to be honest. I'm going to be as sarcastic as I can be during this segment. It's weird that Democrats seem to all the time be capable of crying on camera by accident. That's how they claim it's happening. They're like, oh no, look at me deciding to shoot this video, looking directly into this, camera with my microphone that I'm wearing, saying these things. And then darn it, I'm getting all emotional, which I can't help. And I'm definitely not doing on purpose because this is performative politics that drives people insane. But that's what's happening. Also, I believe that this politician, this Democrat, is claiming that people are coming up to her in the airport and also weeping about Trump's big, beautiful bill, which seems highly, highly unlikely to be true. Here's a little bit of this audio.
I lost my voice. We were forced back here. Took a red-eye flight. Haven't slept. We're here. Forced back to vote on this disastrous budget proposal that is going to decimate our rural hospitals, healthcare that families, millions of families across the United States rely on, and increase costs for all of us for the private insurance market.
Blah, 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 is what I feel like I'm listening to Charlie Brown teacher all of a sudden. But her eyes are bloodshot. She's crying. She's upset. That's Representative Brittany Peterson. Here's what's hilarious about this to me. The politicians also seem very mad that they had to stay up one night. A lot of us do things like that for jobs that we have. Actually, I'll tell you this, and it doesn't really matter. But my own personal experience, there were times in my early career in this industry that I love, radio, where I do like a bunch of overnight shifts at radio stations as a producer, as a host, as whatever they needed. I would have cleaned somebody's car if that's what they wanted me to do. Wash the car, no problem, sir, as long as I get to work at this awesome place that you broadcast to people. And many, many individuals have had to pull overnights for all kinds of reasons. Politicians have to do it once, and they're up in arms. Like, I had to take a red eye flight, and I had to get here, and I'm still awake, and this is terrible. How do people deal with this? It's called a job, is something I feel like I want to yell at these individuals. But anyway, she continued to weep and cry and claim that other people are very upset. As far as the big, beautiful bill itself goes, an update on that, Republicans did finally get a test vote to work. They had a lot of bickering, a lot of back and forth into the wee hours of the evening. I think they were up until about 3:30 this morning. So, and that's Eastern time. So they were up till, I don't know, about whatever. But anyway, what's funny to me is that they'll be up soon and they'll be voting on this again. And it might pass. It might be the final one vote away, is what they're saying, from this big, beautiful bill getting to President Trump's desk, being signed, and then we really see the impact of it. And honestly, a lot of the excess spending that might be in it and a lot of the decision-making of this, world of politicians, because at the beginning of this, I thought that the goals were good. And then you get to the end of this and you're like, man, a lot of people feel like sellouts. A lot of people feel like they're willing to rubber stamp something that definitely could be better and is what it is for whatever reason, whatever special interests are involved. And again, you wish to yourself that didn't exist, but you'll still see whatever the impact is for years to come, especially the sweet, sweet, delicious tax cuts that will continue to be a thing for so many Americans that all of us want a whole lot. And then beyond that, I am curious to see how tariffs become a bigger part of the equation and making sure that our deficit doesn't balloon as bad as they tell us it's going to balloon. But I digress. We'll talk about that another day. But anyway, the big, beautiful bill, one vote away from passing, and probably a whole bunch of tears will be fake shed by a bunch of Democrats right after that happens. All right, quick break. A lot coming up. There's a lot to do this morning. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
This is Gary Dick. A new entrepreneurship program taking hold in Bloomington at 6:32. Nominations are now open for the IBJ's Women of Influence Awards. Submit your nomination by August 1st at IBJ.com. Then join us in October to honor the class of 2025.
My name's Craig Landers. I'm a union laborer for Local 120, and I'm a member of the Veterans Steering Committee and been retired for 7 years.
For members of the Laborers International Union of North America, giving back is part of their commitment to the Indy community.
I like to help veterans and family downtown. Part of the building burnt down that housed the veterans that lived there. So we donated money to help out. It lost everything they had. I mean, it didn't have much, but they lost what they did have.
When the Indy community needs help, LIUNA steps up.
People bring in clothes and shoes and food. We had a couple of car shows and donated the proceeds to the Veteran Suicide Prevention.
This is Chris Bricky, Business Manager of Labor's Local 120. While all our members are skilled, highly trained men and women, we are also your friends, neighbors, Little League coaches, and volunteers here in Indy.
Pretty good to help them guys out. That's a good feeling to help people out.
We build Indy for good jobs and stronger communities. We are LIUNA Local 120.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 13 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
I had changed the locks, didn't even know where she was living. And then one night she calls to say she's getting treatment. Can I drive? I almost hung up. But then I thought, that's my kid. I chose to put away the hurt and the fear and just see my girl.
Addiction is a disease. Standing by a loved one as they fight it will test your faith, patience, and sanity. But it's possible when you see the person, not just their disease. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
All right, Craig, pretty good right now. Eastbound 74, we do have a crash on the exit to 465 right now. That ramp is open. Man, oh man, going from Hancock to Henry County like you're heading to Ohio. We have a full shutdown of eastbound 70. This is eastbound only. All lanes closed between State Road 9 and State Road 109. And if you want to avoid the backup right now, which is running about 3 miles long, exit at State Road 9, Greenfield, go south and pick up US 40. But again, all lanes closed. Eastbound 70 between 9 and 109 because of a semi-fire. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. 20% chance of showers, thunderstorms after 3 o'clock today, and a high of 90 right now in downtown Indianapolis. It is 69 degrees. The temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken.
Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you have Carl hanging out. They do that every morning on this very show. The Babylon Bee came up with 10 places that should launch their own version of Alligator Alcatraz. Florida has a new facility. People are calling it Alligator Alcatraz, of course, because there's a lot of gators in Florida. I do love some of the names on this list of things that the Babylon Bee, by the way, satirical website, not real, came up with. Indiana made the list, by the way. The fake facility that the Babylon Bee thinks Indiana should open should be called, according to them, Farmer McGillicuddy's Inescapable Corn Maze. They feel like that would be a great place for people to be sent and stuck. How do we feel about a corn maze being used as a prison in Indiana?
I don't want to be stuck in a corn maze. That sounds horrible, man. I've seen too many videos. I was afraid of it when I was a kid. I mean, if you grow up in Indiana, you hear about getting stuck in a corn maze, you're like, oh, no. Because it's very possible.
Have you done a corn maze? I know that sounds silly to ask somebody who lives in Indiana, but have you?
Oh, yeah, it's a rite of passage in this state. I did one when I was a little kid. I mean, you can't get your driver's license unless you've been in a corn maze.
That's actually true.
It's, but no, they're fun. It's for kids. But I mean, the thing, you can really, I think, get out of it. That's the thing. It's just corn. You know?
Well, you know what's funny about it? I remember the first time I did one as a little kid, and I had moved from New Jersey to Indiana, and we went to a corn maze, as you said, rite of passage. And I remember standing in it being like, I'm just in a maze of corn. I don't get this. Like, I don't know why this is good. And then eventually you get out of the maze of corn and you're like, okay, this is a thing that I did for some reason.
I got out of the corn maze. I thought life was renewed. I was like, thank you, God.
But yeah, that was Babylon Bee's idea. My favorite is for Ohio. They said just Toledo could be a prison. Anybody that's there. That's a pretty good joke. And also, I think Pennsylvania had an Amish-built prison. They said that'll be built in 10 minutes and it'll last 300 years.
You know, that would be the sturdiest damn prison you ever been in, man. Those walls wouldn't come down in an F5.
That's true. That's exactly correct. All right. Some other things out there that I saw that I like. Apparently, Chuck E. Cheese is intent on opening arcades for adults. They're going to call them Chuck's Arcades. I don't know why. It's real. None of that's a joke. That's a real thing.
Chucky's Arcades.
Yep. No, it's just Chuck's. If you're the adult, you're not a Chuck E anymore. You're just a Chuck. That's how you get older. But anyway, there's going to be 10 of these opening throughout the United States, mostly in malls. And they hope that this catches on and they do a lot more of this. You'd be able to buy the food items that you're used to at a Chuck E. Cheese, but it would not be designed for children. This would be an adult arcade. There might even be beverages that would be sold at these places, and also prizes that for some reason you could win. And I think, some of the games will give you tickets. Essentially, it's Chuck E. Cheese. They just don't want kids to go. I got to be honest about this, and I see stuff like this all the time. Like the millennial generation is ruining things. My generation is ruining stuff because they want to target us with things we remember from our childhood. I remember going to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid, having birthdays there and whatnot. And now apparently I'll be able to do that as an adult man.
See, I didn't even know Chuck E. Cheese was still around when you were a kid. I mean, I'm only, like 10 years older than you are? Yeah. And I thought Chuck E. Cheese was more that millennial border between the millennial and Xer like I am. And for the Xers, like with a showbiz pizza place. So this is kind of crazy to me. But, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, we came up with video arcades. That was the thing. We loved putting quarters into these machines that really didn't do anything for us other than you just played the video game for 2 minutes, lose, and then you put it out of the quarter. So I think there's but for somehow the video arcade was just the most amazing magical place in the entire world. It just was, because there was pinball and noises, and your friends were there, and everybody was gathered around the machine and trying to find a cheat code before the internet. So yeah, I see this working. I know it works in my neighborhood right now. I live downtown, like close to the Mass Ave Cultural District, and there are arcade bars around here. And, and it's a lot of fun, and they're always packed, baby. Let me tell you, I drive by one of them twice a day, and they are packed. So this sounds like fun. This sounds cool.
Right.
Man.
It's funny, Matt. I totally agree with you, and I understand that like arcade bars in and of themselves work. I just don't know why it needs the Chuck E. Cheese branding. Like why that needs to be an element that people are like, okay, now I'm going to go to this. By the way, Chuck E. Cheese opened in like the 70s. So it was around during my childhood. And I saw you use a different name for the same type of place. There was another chain that was very similar to Chuck E. Cheese. Showbiz Pizza, thank you. Same thing. And it had the animatronic stuff.
The lead character was like a dog bear. You couldn't tell which one it was. It's like, man, that's the biggest dog I've ever seen. And then you're like, no, it's a bear. It's a very small bear. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it was just terrifying, by the way. Lifeless
terrifying.
eyes.
Yes.
Yeah. Billy Bob was the name of the bear, right?
Yeah, it was Billy Bob the bear. Billy Bob
Bear. Yeah, that's terrifying. But anyway, I don't know if that's going to be a part of the Chuck E. Cheese thing for adults, Chuck's for adults. But it's a thing that's coming out.
I will say this: if you have the Robotrons, if you have that, more people will come just to throw popcorn at them. As we are adults now with adult beverages at Chuck E. Cheese, people will go there just to clown the robot.
You know what would be interesting to me is if we made like actual humans pretend to be that band. Like they dress up in the costumes, they stand on the stage, and they have to do the same motions. That might be more entertaining.
Motion.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Yeah, they're just trapped up there for a few hours at a time, and we're like, this is fun.
No reward
for some reason.
maybe we'll give you a slice of pizza if you do this.
Yeah, we don't know. We're not sure about that. I'm not going to go to Chuck E. Cheese for adults. I've never bought the adult Happy Meal, which I know a lot of people who buy those, and I get annoyed by everything. It's honestly, the branding is so stupid. Because if you want to be an adult child, you can just go to the child places, I guess. Well, probably not Chuck E. Cheese. I think you have to have an actual kid to get into that place. But most of this stuff, you just do it. But now the companies are branding it toward adults, charging more money for it, and saying it's a nostalgia thing. And a lot of us idiots, people in my generation, are just doing it. They're just buying this stuff And I don't think it's good.
Well,
I'm
one
complaining
thing you
about it.
said, Craig, that I thought it was interesting. They want to expand to malls across America and do this there. And I'm like, that's not a good business model, man, because there are like 4 malls in America now. Indianapolis is home to one of them, and they are about to implode that thing and rebuild something that's going to be really cool, actually. And, of course, they're not going to implode it. I should watch my words here. Even when being facetious. But yeah, it doesn't sound like the best business model. You want to put these things in malls, that's great. You have to have people going to the malls as well. So we'll see how this I think it's a fun idea, but I don't think it's sustainable.
Well, who knows? Maybe they can do other stuff for my generation. The Hot Topic for adults can be next to the Chuck E. Cheese for adults. And we can just have a great time.
We're all wearing mesh again. All right. Yeah. So goth.
I like that you said we're all wearing mesh again. That would be, I am scared of the idea. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up on the show. Matt's got traffic for us.
All right, Craig, we're checking out of Hancock County into Henry County right now. It's eastbound 70. All lanes closed because of a nasty semi-fire. And thank you to at Hancock IN 911 for getting us pictures on this. But we do see this semi-trailer is completely charred out right now. As eastbound 70 is closed, exit at State Road 9 goes south to US 44 reroute. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradio.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob. Be sure to join us Thursday. Stephen Whitmer from the Indy Reporter will be here. Nikki Kelly from the Indiana Capital Chronicle will be here. We'll see you 9 to noon, 93 WIBC.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models. Approved credit. Plus tax tag title license 199 dealer doc. RAV4 model 4432. Tacoma model 7540. 36 months. $29.99 due. Zero security. 10,000 annual miles. 15 cents per mile thereafter. Expires 7/7.
Matt Bear for Concrete Exteriors. Maybe these Indiana storms, that big wave we just had, damaged your roof or siding. Well, Concrete Exteriors is now offering free inspections to assess the condition of your home. From blown-offs, full replacements, just dings, all that. Concrete Exteriors knows the insurance process will make your home as good as new as fast as possible. Help your home find the fountain of roof. Trust a company that was here before the storm will be long after for your free, no-obligation consultation. Schedule today, concreteexteriors.com, 317-ROOFING. Concrete Exteriors, referred for a reason, for over 15 years.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
I'm a grandson, a son, I'm an employee and a mentor. I'm a father to 2 beautiful kids and a husband to an amazing wife. And I have a substance use disorder. In other words, I'm living in recovery with an addiction. And now that you know, will you let it change how you see me? It's okay to see my addiction, but I want you to know it's people choosing to see me as a person that changed my life.
See the person, not just their disease. Learn more at seebeyondtheaddiction.org. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
There's some good and some bad with it. Skies are clear, and it's 69 degrees on Monument Circle. Today's high near 89. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30. It's July, so of course it's hot in Indiana. Cody Moore is a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis, and here's what he says lies ahead.
Starting tomorrow, highs are going to be above that 90-degree mark once again. However, we aren't expecting things to be as oppressive as they were with the previous week's heat wave.
He says dew points are lower, which means it'll feel less humid and less muggy than it was in the last couple of weeks of June. The House of Representatives begins debate on President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill after voting to move forward with it early this morning. Democrat Gabe Amo of Rhode Island, though, is against it.
People will suffer, people will die, and it will be at the hands of Republicans who vote yes.
But Republicans who did vote yes praised the bill for extending the 2017 tax cuts while also cutting federal spending. President Trump says he wants to sign it by tomorrow. A hearing is set for today in the battle over the estate over O.J. Simpson. Fox's Tanya J. Powers.
Legal wrangling over the estate of O.J. Simpson continues following the sale of Simpson's items, including sports memorabilia, earlier this year. Simpson, who died in April of last year, was acquitted in the 1994 murders of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ron Goldman. While he was found not guilty in the criminal case, Simpson was found liable in a civil suit in order to pay both families $33.5 million. The money was never paid, and over the years the amount increased due to interest owed. Goldman's father, Fred Goldman, filed a creditor's claim of $117 million against the Simpson estate last July. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
European astronomers have discovered what appears to be an interstellar object traveling through the solar system. The European Space Agency said Wednesday the object appears to be 12 miles wide, and its trajectory suggests that it's from outside the solar system. An online viewing of that object is happening tonight on YouTube. And Michigan's oldest resident and the third oldest person in the U.S. turns 114 years old tomorrow. Bonita Gibson credits her longevity to eating potatoes, which she and her husband used to farm, and she also says staying positive has helped. Born in Kansas, she grew up in Missouri and later moved to Idaho. She then moved to Michigan, where her grandson lives, back when she was 102. Traffic, weather, and sports all coming up in a moment.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. The Mill, a nonprofit entrepreneurship center in Bloomington, has launched an accelerator program aimed at startups looking to scale up their operations. The 90 Days to Scale program will focus on a cohort of 5 to 6 companies that will receive personalized one-on-one support, participate in expert-led workshops, and have access to resources to help them grow. Ravi Bhatt is the program lead for 90 Days to Scale.
We're trying to flip the model here a little bit and say, like, okay, let's really get these peer cohorts built. Let's figure out what the companies need, and then subordinate to that need, figure out what capacity do we need to build. And I think that's going to lead to a bunch of cool stuff.
Baseball is set to return to Kokomo's Municipal Stadium as a result of a new agreement. The city has announced a deal with Westfield-based Bullpen Ventures, LLC, which will lease and operate the stadium and bring back full-time collegiate summer baseball. Jasper Holdings, the parent of a host of companies in the automotive industry, has acquired a regional plumbing contractor with several branches in the Southeast. Georgia-based Jenkins Holdings, which does business as Jenkins Plumbing, was founded more than 30 years ago and specializes in installation services for single-family homes. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Do you own an import-export business? If so, your company could save time and money with foreign trade zones. FTZs are designated sites across the United States where you can reduce, defer, and even eliminate import duties, helping you stay competitive in the global marketplace. If you're interested in becoming an FTZ, the Indianapolis Airport Authority can sponsor your application and start you on the path to savings, because smart companies get in the zone. Learn more at inzone.org.
Indiana's economy is on the move, and every region has a role to play. Join IBJ Media and Inside Indiana Business for the Innovate Indiana series, presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. We're traveling to 10 regions across the state to spotlight business growth, workforce development, innovation, and Indiana's tech hubs. Don't miss this front row look at Indiana's future and the growth opportunities in your region. Find out when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/innovate. State government officials rescinded more than 8,400 hybrid remote work agreements Tuesday as Governor Mike Braun's push to return state employees to the office takes full effect. There will be no more hybrid arrangements. Employees will either work solely in state offices or solely at home. The state dropped from more than 10,500 active remote work agreements in January when Braun's executive order was issued to less than 600 as of July 1. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
Going from Hancock County to Henry County, all lanes eastbound 70 closed between State Road 9 and 109, and that is because of a vehicle fire, a semi-fire, which we put out of Baton traffic, and courtesy of Hancock IN 911 on the Twitter if you want to follow them. But right now, eastbound 70 shut down from 9 to 109 because of the semi-fire. To reroute exit at 9, go south to Greenfield, then you can pick up US 40 from there. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. 20% chance of showers, thunderstorms after 3 o'clock today. High of 90. Right now in downtown Indianapolis, it is 69 degrees. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. With sports, Ryan Hedrick.
And sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark will sit out tonight's game against Las Vegas as she continues to recover from a left groin injury. That's something Fever head coach Stephanie White spoke about on Wednesday at practice.
I don't want this to be something that lingers, that we come back too soon. We want to make sure that she is 100% ready to go and that we put her long-term health and wellness as at the forefront.
The Fever are coming off a Commissioner's Cup championship win against the Minnesota Lynx. Indiana's won 3 of their last 4. You can hear tonight's game at 7 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. 2 former Indiana Pacer head coaches have landed coaching jobs elsewhere in the NBA. It was announced on Wednesday that former Pacer head coach Frank Vogel is becoming the lead assistant coach for the Dallas Mavericks, while former Pacer assistant coach Mike Brown will be the next head coach of the New York Knicks. Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw got his 3,000th career strikeout Wednesday night against the Chicago White Sox. He's now just the 20th Major League Baseball player in history to do that. Kershaw said afterwards the moment was surreal.
A lot of strikeouts tonight, so it wasn't I didn't really do my part, but you could feel the tension in the fans, and they were trying to will me to do it.
In 6 innings, Kershaw had 3 strikeouts, and the Dodgers won the game 5-4. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Oh, beautiful. Heroes prove.
Tony Katz, the morning news, 93 WIBC. My bad, John Herrick. That is not Ryan Hedrick. That is John Herrick, who just did the sports there. Crushed it, by the way. And I'm sad that Caitlin Clark's sitting down again. That made me sad. But thank you for that. Let's do some things. Let's talk about some stuff out here. Let's do this first. There's a supercut that went viral online from an awesome person who puts out these supercuts all the time. His name is Tom Elliott. He's the head of a organization that works on stuff like this all the time. You should follow him on Twitter, on X, at Tom Elliott. But anyway, he demonstrates that just a few short years ago, a whole lot of Democrats believed what a whole lot of Republicans seem to believe today, which is that welfare is not a system that you should stay on forever. It's the kind of system that you want to get off of ASAP. And creating roadblocks to having people on it lifelong is a good thing. Creating ways for them to jump over hurdles, hoops, what have you, even though Democrats now are saying that it's going to kill people, the big, beautiful bill, in the ways that it might restrict access to Medicaid and Medicare. And again, it's not actually like deleting any of those programs. It's just asking you to get a job. If you're an able-bodied adult, you should be able to get a job and then also potentially still have access to certain welfare things. Again, Democrats profoundly believed in this a very short time ago. Here's part of that supercut.
For too many, welfare has been a way of life. For too long, it has condemned too many on welfare to a lifetime at the margins of our society. Today, we start to change all that.
Anyone who wants to receive welfare must sign an individual responsibility contract so that they're forced to agree up front to the conditions placed on receiving the benefit, and so that they will have a plan from day one on how to get themselves off of welfare, put them to work, and make them want to go to work and make it reasonable for them to go to work. It'll be a mandatory work requirement for anyone receiving welfare. They actually have charged and run ads saying that President Obama wants to weaken the work requirements in the welfare reform bill I signed that moved millions of people from welfare to work. Oh, wait, the requirement was for more work, not less.
How dare they? And then they did the thing that Bill Clinton said they weren't going to do. And they're fighting the thing that Bill Clinton sort of did all these years ago. Well, not that many years ago, actually. Now, they're telling you how horrible and terrible this all is because it's a Republican idea in 2025 when it was a Democratic idea in the early 2000s. I love this version of see how bad the hypocrisy is that exists all the time. Social media is actually really great at that. There's a few things that I think make social media valuable for us. One is access to information quickly. Whether that information is true or not is something you've got to figure out for yourself, because certainly just being on social media obviously does not make something true. But the other thing is the long version of we're going to go ahead and show you how what people are saying is absolute crap. And you used to have to try harder to find these videos, to roll through whatever your data or your box of certain recorded programs was at some point in the day. And now everybody on social media has access to this stuff, so it's fantastic. But yes, Democrats profoundly believed in the thing that they're now saying is going to destroy our society in the big, beautiful bill, which is likely to be voted on again today and probably going to get passed. And then we'll wind up on the president's desk to be signed. And Democrats will keep crying into cameras and telling us how this is the end of days, which is crazy, of course, because just one more time for the cheap seats in the back, they used to believe in this. All right, quick break, a lot more. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Fireworks are in the air and on the air.
Worthy of looking at from the people of Indianapolis.
People are giving him this money because they want something in return.
Correct.
From political blow-ups
No.
to explosive takes.
This is CNN. President Trump's right. That's scummy.
Your front row seat to the summer's loudest moments.
It's not a coincidence that the news already has a mugshot.
93 WIBC.
Why do so many basement companies want half the money up front? Could it be because it's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they don't ask for a deposit until the job is done and you're completely satisfied. They even start with a free inspection to ensure you know exactly what your home needs without the guesswork. With over 35 years experience, they've proven that trust is built on results, not deposits. Michaelis, building trust beneath your feet. Visit michaeliscorp.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Now, the idea of Uber goes against everything we were taught as kids, though.
What's that?
Never get into a car with a stranger.
But there's vetting.
Now we pay for it. We're literally paying the stranger to take us somewhere.
But at least there's some sort of vetting. You know the name of the person's coming.
So you'll know your kidnapper. It's like having an alarm on your car. Great, I can hear it being stolen.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
politics, punchlines, and pure WIBC. The Mashup Podcast pulls the day's best moments from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, and drops them in one place. New episodes each weekday. Search WIBC Mashup wherever you get your podcasts. Kendall and Casey.
Look at how he just broke it further than it was already broken. Why would you think he's going to fix anything?
You had the chance.
You know who you need to listen to? Us. We're the ones who are right. We're the ones who will tell you how it is. We're the ones who always stand up and own it. You need to listen to us. Stop listening to these politicians. They are to blame.
Kendall and Casey. Weekdays 9 till noon on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Full closure going from Hancock to Henry County. It's eastbound 70, closed between State Road 9 and State Road 109 because of a semi-fire. The fire is out. Rerouters can exit at State Road 9 Greenfield. Go south to US 40. Pick up 40, travel east, and you're at Knightstown. Go north from there, back to I-70. That's the plan. Looking at the south side, northbound 65. Little bit slow as you approach the south split. That's because of construction. Outside of that, we are looking good in Indianapolis for the moment. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 Stanton River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. 20% chance of rain today after 3 o'clock. Otherwise, a high of 90. It's going to be even hotter for Independence Day and the rest of the weekend. So 90 won't be as bad as the other days. 69 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Lots of stuff to talk about. You got Matt and Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. There's going to be a spicy McMuffin at McDonald's. I don't know why I wanted to talk about this, but I do. For some reason, they seem to think that the spicy craze that all the places do deserves to be added to breakfast food. And deserves to be added in a unique way. There will be a spicy egg McMuffin, spicy sausage McMuffin, a spicy sausage egg McMuffin, et cetera, et cetera. You get the idea. I don't know why anyone would want these. I'm being honest. Anybody want to try a spicy McMuffin on the show?
I mean, I'll try it, but McDonald's needs to give it up here with some of these menu items. I love the fact. I mean, you're a business, you're a franchise as big as McDonald's. You have to recreate. You have to find new ways to bring it to the public. I get that, but we're there for a double cheeseburger, man.
Yeah.
This is like the McSalad or the salad shakers that I don't know. It's like a salad in a cup, and everybody's like, "Yeah, this is cool," and then they come out and people are like, "No, this is kind of dumb. I want a burger." I kind of feel like it's the same thing right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know the spicy craze thing, though. Like, to be honest, if you want, like, good spicy food, I think you go somewhere other than a fast food restaurant. If you want the weird orange thing that they say is spicy and tastes, terrible, then buy something at a fast food restaurant. That's the difference for me. Maybe I'm alone in that. Maybe I'm a hater in the spicy food craze of the fast food places, and everybody else loves these things.
You like spicy food, though, right?
No.
Really?
Yeah, no.
And you're married to a Latina?
Like, hell no.
I am married to a woman and, connected then to her family, and they all disparage me. But nah.
Yeah, the green guy.
Yeah, they do. I've had to eat, like, hot things from time to time to prove to them that I'm worth their daughter. Like, I don't think I'd be allowed to stay married to her, but then occasionally eat, like, a hot pepper. But it's not fun, man.
Here's the Carolina Reaper if you want to join our family. Must eat it at home.
Have you ever eaten lengua?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you ask me about that, Carl? Why are we doing that?
I'm just thinking about my friends in East LA, and it's like, you got to eat weird stuff.
Yeah, it's 6:50 in the morning. You want to talk about lingua. Have you ever had that?
No, what's lingua? I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, it's tongue.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh,
it's not good. Yeah. Have I ever told you? Oh, hold on. I got to do this now. Have I told you guys about the time they killed a goat for me?
Excuse
This is a
me.
real story. This is a real story.
Craig, I believe I'd remember that if you told me
Yeah.
that. I just
One of the
feel like-
first times I went to Mexico, to meet the family, everybody was very excited. And the dad went to the farm. They own a farm. He killed a goat. Yeah, they killed a goat. This was like from the Bible. They put it in the ground and cooked it. Yeah, you build some sort of like oven in the ground. And this part, a lot of farmers make fun of me for, because a lot of them do this. This isn't like unique to them. They cooked it for several hours. They plucked it out of the ground, put it on the table, and then said, like, here, Craig, this is your gift goat for yeah.
That's
And then we all-
amazing. I love this.
Here's the worst part of it, Matt. So we all ate the goat, and I couldn't not eat it because, like, everybody's staring at me as they put this thing in front of me. I got violently ill within hours, just and everybody else was fine. They were looking at me like, what happened to Craig? And it was horrible.
Did you get the goat poops, Greg?
I got the goat. It was coming out all directions, buddy. It's too early in the morning for this discussion.
Well,
but
I mean, when you first said kill a goat, I was like, you weird.
Yeah,
this
they did.
is welcome to the family, Craig. Don't mess with our daughter. And then it was
Right.
just like some sort of thing.
No,
in
they
effigy.
should have made me kill it. Like, that would have been the only thing that would have been different about it. Just lock me in the room with the goat and see who comes out first.
If you want in. This is our rite of passage in this family, Craig.
I remember also like how upset people were the next day. Like, they were disappointed in me. Maybe upset's not the right word. That I got sick from their goat. They're like, this guy, he can't even handle the goat we killed for him.
Listen, it's the same as chicken. You don't undercook it. I mean,
No.
that's
Well,
the rule
apparently
of
everybody else could handle it. My body wasn't built for this type of food.
I see. I was great until you told me about the vomiting and the Yankee, and I was really excited. I thought that sounded really cool. You dig a hole, you cook the meat, and then you have a big family feast. I'm like, this is beautiful custom. And then you're like, yeah, I got sick off it. I'm like,
all of
maybe
it
not
was
a good
beautiful.
idea. Yeah.
But I knew immediately when I ate it that I was going to be violently ill, and then I was. It was terrible.
You didn't even give it a chance. Come on.
I did because I consumed it, and I didn't want to, and that happened. All right, other things out there before we take a break. Yeah, this was terrible. I'm still in trouble for this story, and I can't believe I tell it on the air. All right, a mother allegedly confessed that she gave her children pot to discourage them from smoking. The woman is in Arkansas. She said that she thought it was a good idea that you get the kids high and you tell them, hey, look, this is bad. Many people went viral. Including chemists and all kinds of individuals saying it's a really, really bad idea to give young children THC. The mom didn't seem deterred. And she, by the way, went on social media to talk about her parenting, which is why this became a story.
Like going on here.
It
reminds me.
Tally.
It reminds me of when my mom said to me, "Don't ever drink cheap booze."
Only the good stuff.
Yeah, only the good stuff.
Well, she was wrong about that, but go ahead, continue.
Well, it is what it is. I mean,
yeah.
No, it's. So basically, the mom in trying to make sure that their kids are, a little bit more controlled with drugs and alcohol as they get older, are giving them alcohol at this early.
Apparently,
giving them marijuana at this early age, right? Is that what's happening here? Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. And then she's confused when people on social media don't agree with her parenting decisions.
Why are you putting it on social media?
See, that's my favorite part, is when they admit the thing and then they're amazed when nobody else likes it. By the way,
dummy.
I know.
And then she's amazed when the police show up at her door.
Right. Yeah. To go back.
This was in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I can't believe I'm in trouble all of a sudden.
That's awesome. To go back to Matt's other comment, too, and I think I've advocated for this before, I need a live read for Admiral Nelson, which is the cheap spiced rum that's supposed to taste kind of like Captain Morgan, but doesn't. And Admiral Nelson looks very similar to Captain Morgan, but he's not the same thing. I'm a huge fan of that. That comes in the big plastic bottle,
This was a drink pairing with a goat, wasn't it? And that's why you got sick. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
You know what? To be honest, if Admiral Nelson had been with the goat, I'd probably be fine right now. I probably would have been fine the entire time. That's the one thing that was missing, is dousing the goat in some Admiral Nelson.
The Admiral.
He's amazing.
A good captain.
Underrated.
Yeah.
He's way better than the captain. He's an admiral, of course. All right, quick break. A lot coming up. Today's show is going to be something, man. All right, Matt's got some traffic for us.
Killing me. Looking at northbound 65 right now on the south side. This is around Southport Road. And, it's northbound 65 is doing okay, but it's eastbound Southport Road right now where we have a crash at I-65. Right lane is blocked. I'm looking out by the airport right now. Westbound 70 before Ronald Reagan Parkway. That's a crash blocking the left lane. No delay at the moment. And southbound 6570 starting to slow down from Washington Street to the south split because of road construction. That big I-65 project that runs from the south split to 465 as they add a travel lane and do some renovations, kind of a makeover remodel of 65 in that area. That's going to be going on until the end of next year, so you can expect lane restrictions until then. As far as road work for this 4th of July weekend, NDOT's picking up a lot of the cones. You'll still have the construction zones on that I-65 Southside construction zone we mentioned, and the Clear Path Northeast side construction zone as well. The redesign of I-69 and 465. You'll still have those, but a lot of the overnight construction has been lifted, so that's pretty cool. Just have safe travels this weekend, please. Pretty please. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Center is at 146 on River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Fireworks are special, and throughout the year, you'll see many displays of the rocket's red glare. But this weekend, they're extra special. This weekend, as you stare into the evening sky with family and friends, take a moment to remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice and those who are currently serving, so that we may all live in freedom. 93 WIBC.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $494 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Guys, Hammer and Nigel here. Don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with Indianapolis's leading experts in men's health.
Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergen X Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you won't find anywhere else. Download right now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. fixmylowt.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
At Kingdom Roofing Systems, they do more than just roofing. They believe in honoring those who've served. Kingdom Roofing Systems proudly participates in the Roof Deployment Project, which provides a brand new roof to a deserving U.S. veteran or active duty service member, absolutely free. You can help give back to those who have given so much. If you or someone you know has served, owns their home, and is in need of a new roof, apply today at kingdomroofingsystems.com/RDP. Kingdom Roofing Systems, building roofs, honoring heroes.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Tony Katz.
I got an email from someone yesterday telling me that they like my midday show, but aside from my opening monologue and the popcorn moment, the morning show is nothing but a bag of hot wind and me, and I quote, playing grab ass with the traffic guy and the weather lady.
I was hoping that was true.
True story. Signed, David Wood, who is our program director. I was shocked.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, why a faith leader in Indianapolis is facing some scrutiny, what police say they know so far about a shooting from this morning, and the Purdue Research Foundation says they've got an important expedition coming up. You'll hear why they feel that way. All those stories and more coming up after Fox News Radio. You are listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, and it's now 7 o'clock.
They're almost ready to vote in the House. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We're going to pass this bill. President Trump's going to sign it. It's going to be a great 4th of July.
Congressman Steve Scalise and Republicans appear mostly united on the president's one big, beautiful budget bill, ready to approve the Senate's version.
We are finally going to give and restore that great American dream and that hope for those families who have been waiting way too long.
It'll make the soon to expire 2017 tax cuts permanent. And there are exemptions for tip and overtime income. And there are spending cuts to programs like Medicaid, attaching a work requirement for some recipients, angering Democrats like Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
Directly contrary to what President Trump indicated in January, which was that he was going to love and cherish Medicaid. Nothing about this bill loves and cherishes Medicaid. It guts Medicaid.
Democrats say millions of Americans will lose health coverage and food assistance. 4 people are dead in Chicago, where police are searching for a gunman after a drive-by shooting late last night that also wounded 14 others outside a nightclub following an album release party for a rapper. Hours after rapper Sean Diddy Combs was acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering at his federal trial in New York.
It's a great victory for Sean Combs. It's a great victory for the jury system.
His attorney, Mark Agnifilo, that jury did convict Combs on 2 prostitution counts that could get him up to 20 years in prison. And he remains jailed awaiting sentencing. In Idaho, Brian Koberger admitted to a judge he's a killer, pleading guilty to murdering 4 college students in 2022. Fox's Chanley Painter was in the court.
Emotions ran high throughout the rows of victims' family members. Members of Ethan Chapin's family, Kaylee Gonsalves' family wiped tears as their names were said by the judge. And in the front row, Maddie Mogan's father, he squirmed in his seat. He was gritting his teeth, clenching his hands, and looking furious, fighting back tears throughout the whole hearing.
Koberger will be sentenced in 3 weeks to life in prison. The plea deal lets him avoid the death penalty. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Just how warm is it supposed to be? You've got a sunny sky, and it's 70 degrees in the Circle City. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02. Temperatures will get into the 90s this weekend all across Indiana.
While it will be hot and humid outside, not seeing those levels fall into like those the dangerous category.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there might be some sporadic rainfall, but nothing severe. More on your forecast with Wish TV in a moment. A person shot and another grazed by a bullet on the northeast side of Indianapolis this morning. It happened on Meadows Way, which is near the intersection of East 38th Street and North Sherman Drive. Both people are expected to be okay. One person's been detained. The call was made during a recent sermon titled Pray the Gay Away inside Sure Foundation Baptist Church on the northwest side of Indianapolis. Wish TV's Kyla Russell reports.
It was given from the pulpit inside the Sure Foundation Baptist Church on the northwest side of the city.
There's nothing good to be proud about. Being a you ought to blow yourself in the back of the head. You're so disgusting.
That's Stephen Falco. He's inside the Fundamental Baptist Church and is speaking during men's preaching night. The event was live streamed on their Facebook.
Got a bunch of that want to come around, walk on our streets and demand our children, and we should look them in the eye and say, no, you're not going to have our children.
The concerned clergy of Indianapolis says they stand strongly against Falco's rhetoric. You might remember a weekend shooting on I-70. Jarrett Lewis reports that state police say they now have a man in custody.
That man is 19-year-old Jonathan Avila Molina. State police say he shot a man in his car on I-70 near Shadeland Avenue over the weekend. That man was found with a gunshot wound in his shoulder. His car on the right shoulder of the interstate when troopers got to him. Thanks to multiple leads, detectives were able to pin pinpoint the suspect's vehicle and then locate Avila Molina. He was arrested on Tuesday and now faces preliminary charges of attempted murder and unlawful possession of a firearm. There were multiple firearms also seized from his car. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Fever don't get a lot of time to enjoy their WNBA Commissioner's Cup win. They won that trophy Tuesday night, along with some prize money. But now they got a game tonight against the Las Vegas Aces. At practice on Wednesday, Fever head coach Stephanie White explained her mentality about the whole thing.
Yeah, by the time I got on the plane, I was over it. Right? It's like you got to get ready for the next. It's sort of the nature of compartmentalization, right? It's yes, it was awesome. It was fun. I wanted to celebrate it for them. They earned it.
Fever guard Caitlin Clark is supposed to miss her fourth straight game with a groin injury. Tip-off tonight at 7 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. What happened to Amelia Earhart and her navigator Fred Noonan has been a mystery ever since they both went missing in 1937. Steve Schultz represents the Purdue Research Foundation. He says they have reason to believe that the plane both Earhart and Noonan were on when they went missing could be on an island in the South Pacific.
And so when Purdue was approached about the idea of an expedition going to this island to explore and confirm this theory, Purdue Research Foundation thought it was worthwhile to do because in some ways we're coming full circle, given that it originally funded her flight around the world.
Schultz says the expedition to that island is set for November. In 1935, Earhart became a visiting faculty member of Purdue University. I'm John Herrick on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 7:05 with traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear.
All right, John, looking at eastbound 70 from Hancock County to Henry County. This is a full closure because of an earlier semi-fire. And the semi's completely charred right now. The fire's out. That's the good news. Traffic is stopped after State Road 9. That's where I'm exiting. State Road 9 going south to 40 and heading over to Knightstown. Out by the airport, this is way on the west side playing field. Westbound 70 crash before Ronald Reagan Parkway. It's blocking the left lane. No delay. Just be careful moving through. And on the south side, eastbound Southport Road at I-65, it is a crash blocking the left lane. Please be careful around that interchange. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code radio for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, good morning. We're going to look for mostly sunny skies today. It is going to be very warm and a bit more muggy at times. We'll look for high temperatures climbing into the upper 80s, near 90. Tonight, mainly clear skies, a bit on the muggy side with lows only falling to 70. On Independence Day, if you're heading to any of the parades or any of the festivals, it looks like we're going to be dry, mostly sunny, hot and humid though. Heads up, highs will be in the lower 90s with feels like temperatures mid and upper 90s. And those fireworks shows on Friday evening also look good. Hot holiday weekend, low 90s Saturday and Sunday with some spotty showers and storms on Sunday.
Thank you very much, Tara. Right now it is 7:07 Thursday morning. Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. I did see someone commented on social media that they thought my name was Craig Collins filling in and not, just Craig Collins. They thought filling in was my last name, and I love that, actually, because whenever I'm on this show, I am, in fact, filling in. All right, maybe they can go by that as a nickname. Anyway, let's do this. Nancy Pelosi voted no on the big, beautiful bill. Not surprising. Pelosi also said, and this went viral, that you should punch somebody for a child. That is a real thing that she said out loud. I will hit play on this. The Democrats all the time claim that they're the party of reasonable, good, kind, all these things people, and that the Republicans are horrible, terrible individuals. And yet it's not the Republicans, it's the Democrats, one of them specifically, who's worth a whole lot of money and some version of amazing, probably insider trading that has happened for Nancy Pelosi throughout her political career, that's saying just go ahead and haul off and punch people and do it for the kids.
Dr. King nearly 60 years ago said, of all the forms of inequality, injustice in health is the most shocking and the most inhuman because it often results in physical death. We come to this floor with the moral force of Dr. King's words in our heart. Let us not with this bill turn the American dream he talked about in a nightmare for America's seniors, the disabled, our children, our children, our children. Let us vote no on this shameful bill and throw a punch for the children.
That's very weird. Throw a punch for the children. She also started that whole strange thing that went viral by quoting Dr. Martin Luther King. Weird, he also believed in nonviolence. And he's got a whole bunch of quotes that she could have used about violence and how it doesn't actually help to return, violence with violence, all that kind of stuff. I could quote him. I could actually do it. We must not allow our creative protest to degenerate into physical violence. That's one of tons of quotes from Martin Luther King about how being a pacifist was important. And yet that part somehow forgotten on Nancy Pelosi. She was too busy doing insider trading probably as she was speaking. I imagine that's what's happening. I love that CNN is so upset about CBS giving money to President Trump's library because CBS edited a conversation with Kamala Harris in incredibly deceptive ways. The latest person to be mad on CNN is Brian Stelter. Brian cheap fakes Stelter, who claimed that President Biden was fine, as did many people on the left, and that we were all just, being sucked in by cheap fakes, which were actual videos of Biden getting lost on stages and doing all kinds of other things. This is incredible. But the fact that he's this mad, that he thinks that CBS did nothing wrong, is just, it's chef's kiss. A version of this is so good because more people in media are terrified that this is going to happen to them, and that's why they're reacting this way. And it should happen to anybody who does this deceptive crap that you see in media all the time. And honestly, what I really want is the discovery process to actually occur one of these cases so that I get to see all of the emails and text messages and conversations that happen between legacy media, left-leaning media, and Democratic politicians, because that stuff would be even better. But here's Stelter getting mad.
CBS did nothing wrong here, but its parent company is paying the price anyway because of President Trump's highly unusual litigation strategy. This is now a playbook of sorts for the president because he won a settlement from Disney's ABC last December, also a settlement from Mark Zuckerberg's Meta, and now a settlement from Paramount Global. The interesting and unusual...
What's amazing there is that in 20 seconds, Brian Stelter has told you that President Trump has had multiple wins against media conglomerates because of the way in which they censored either information from him or benefited his opponent. And the reaction of CNN is, how dare all of this be somehow true? How dare he continue to succeed in going after companies that he can prove in a courtroom did things that they shouldn't have done? How dare he do that?
Usual wrinkle here with Paramount, the parent of CBS, is that Paramount is trying to merge with a company called Skydance. And in order to merge, it needs Trump administration approval. That has led to widespread speculation that Paramount was willing to cut this settlement deal, in fact, eager to cut this deal in order to get the Trump administration to bless the merger.
Yeah. Also, the biggest reason why they did this is they did do something wrong, and they didn't want discovery to occur where you'd get a whole bunch of awesome information about how much colluding happens between the Democratic Party and a bunch of media. I would love to see that stuff. Stelter knows about it, wants to pretend there's nothing here because he's desperately hoping that people go away and don't come after him next. Quick break, a lot more. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz in the Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Mark Dietel, the only local real estate agent I would trust to sell my home, the only local real estate agent I'd trust to find me a new one. How about John in Greencastle? He bought a home in Greencastle, right? But shortly after, his son moved to Fishers, which left him an hour away from family and 45 minutes from work. So John thought he made a big mistake and felt stuck since he'd only been in his home less than a year. Not a problem for the Mark Dietel team. They delivered big. John's home sold in 14 days for the price he needed so he could move closer to family and work.
Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Pick your move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Mark Dietel makes this easy. All you have to do is reach out to him. Call him right now, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 13 locations. And choose from Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory on West Minnesota Street. The best dealers in the region, hundreds of tables, just $6 for adults, kids 12 and under free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory. For more info, visit centralindianagunshows.com.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Great crash clear on the south side. It's eastbound Southport Road at I-65. Crash Plainfield by Indianapolis International Airport. Westbound 70 shy of Ronald Reagan Parkway. Left lane is closed. No delay here at the moment. Hancock County, bad deal. It's eastbound 70. A semi-fire shut down eastbound 70 between State Road 9 and 109. All lanes closed. And traffic is stopped almost to the State Road 9 Greenfield exit. Now that's where I'm going to peel off. Nice tweet here at Matt in Traffic saying exit at Mountain Comfort Road if you're a semi. It's going to handle the traffic a little bit better as you make your way to US 40. I'm down with that. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code radio for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. A 20% chance of showers, thunderstorms later on this afternoon at about 3 o'clock or so. Otherwise, a high of 90. Right now, it is 70 in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken.
Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. We'll do our popcorn moment in just a second here. That is brought to you by Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling Company, BOOHER building.com is the website, BOOHER building.com. You can call them 317-852-5546, 317-852-5546. Tony's catchphrase for them: if it's in your four walls, they're your only call. I love that catchphrase. That's good. You can just call Boer Remodeling and tell them if you like it, because Tony's not sure. All right, let's do our popcorn moment. I got one that I think is ridiculous. Far left takes are insane very often. This is one of the more insane of the insane ones. This is Elie Mistral. He is a crazy guy, as many people are crazy people on the left, as I said. And he wants our country to be sanctioned bad because he thinks we're horrible on the world stage. He thinks America's the bad guy, and he'd like to see us pay the financial penalty for that. Here is the take.
And I don't say this lightly, but our country needs to be sanctioned. We are the bad guys on the world stage. We are a menace to not only free people everywhere, but we are a menace to peaceful people everywhere at this point. And I'm not even going to say that we've only been a menace for the past 3 or 4 months, right? Like, when does the international community decide that enough is enough? I know we're rich. I know we've got a lot of money.
I know we're fantastic and amazing. And also not necessarily any of the things I just said a second ago before I described how rich we are. But we deserve to be taken down. We want the rest of the world to turn on us because that would go great. Obviously, the United States isn't the kind of country that a whole lot of the rest of the world desperately wants to get along with. And President Trump hasn't been proving that via the, tariffs and all the other things he's done to force some better trade deals throughout the world. That's a great idea. Let's just sanction us. Let's get things to be worse. The United States of America. You know what's funny about this? The caveat to that rant, if we did less internationally, a lot of conservatives would be happy. They do want us to focus on here at home and stop worrying about the issues that shouldn't involve us. That's something we can agree on. We won't agree for the reasons you gave. I don't necessarily think that we're the evil, horrible person across the board in every situation. I do, however, think there's a lot of government operations that we don't know about that we wouldn't approve of if we found out about them that happen internationally. I'm sure you believe that too. So there are things he says that dazzle on points where he and I could have common ground. But my favorite part is just like, we need to be punished. How dare us do anything? When the reality is we could just stop doing that stuff internationally, whether it's good or bad. And a whole lot of Americans would support that because we want to focus on here at home again. But that's my popcorn moment. As often there are just crazy, insane takes on the left. The other one is a crazy lefty that's crying, politician about having to work overnight. I'll play that later again, but I decided not to make that the popcorn moment. I want to move on to other things. I love this. This story to me is amazing. A poll asked people what they plan to do this 4th of July. And for the first time, I don't know in how long, I'm not sure that people are really keeping up with this data, although it's not one where they can find another version of it. The top answer was nothing. A whole lot of people like, what are you doing this 4th of July? I'm doing nothing. I'm staying at home. I might see some fireworks outside my window. But for the most part, what I'm excited about is a couple days to just veg out. This is fantastic. I love that people become proud, especially I think as you get older, of the opportunity to do nothing because it's special in the society we live in. You got to put down all the electronics. You got to distance yourself from that stuff. Maybe get yourself a lemonade. If you're one to do it, add some adult beverages into that lemonade as well and just sit on the porch, sit wherever you can and do nothing. This sounds amazing. It is probably my plan for the 4th of July, too, to do very, very little. Are you guys planning to do anything for the 4th of July?
I think I'm doing all the things you just mentioned. I'm going to spend a couple of days vegging. I'm going to work tomorrow, do a little bit of traffic.
Nice.
And in the evening, I'm going to go outside my Mass Avenue apartment and watch the downtown Indianapolis fireworks. And that sounds like a perfect Independence Day for me. There's something about being able to be still and enjoying things like Independence Day and being able to celebrate Independence Day with all of the fanfare in the glam. I mean, you can still appreciate the nation and appreciate everything that came before you without having a big party. And if you go to the big party, man, go do that and do the social thing. If you're having all your neighbors over to watch the fireworks, man, you do that and do it to its fullest. But yeah, if you're just kind of chilling out, man, we need the break.
Yes,
a little bit of a break is fine.
Right.
You know, that's okay.
It's incredible. And actually, I love something you said a second ago because I think that pulling back from all the crazy partying of any of these holidays actually can let you appreciate it more. I think you can appreciate the country and all the things that the 4th of July means just on your own, with your loved ones, in your house, doing very little and saying thank you to all those who created the world in the country in which we live and, not necessarily boozing it up at some sort of outdoor party. I feel like this is a much better situation for something. I'm not judging you. Do whatever you want. But at the same token, I think that you might be able to appreciate the holiday more, being a little more introspective and less, social on that day. That's just me. Another thing I saw out there that I thought was really interesting, P. Diddy was found innocent and guilty yesterday. I don't really want to debate that all that much or talk about that all that much. We'll see what the sentencing is. But this is a story that was missed on a lot of people. When he was found innocent of the really bad charges that he was facing, One of his fans outside the courthouse started squirting people with baby oil in celebration. That's the weirdest thing I heard. There was one dude running around outside the courthouse like, yeah, Diddy's not guilty of being a rhino, or his RICO case, excuse me. And he started spraying people with baby oil. And apparently some of the other supporters of Diddy were happy to be baby oiled. What do we got on this?
Yeah, I'm back. I had to have a moment there. Yeah, this is who do you have to be to do that? I mean,
to baby oil other people?
Yeah, the baby oil other people, but we know why they're choosing baby oil at the moment. Like that there was no crime committed, and I'm not on the jury. I get that, and everything is allegedly innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You know, there are victims here, you know, and I understand everything's tongue in cheek, and that's fine, but to actually hose somebody down with baby oil in this scenario just seems a little gross to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting curmudgeonly in my own.
No. I don't think so. And even outside of the specifics of it and all the things you said that are absolutely true about the Diddy case itself, I just don't understand a celebration that involves like surprise spraying people with baby oil. That feels like the kind of thing you don't want, especially if I'm like dressed and in clothing outside of a courthouse and all of a sudden baby oil is being sprayed on my clothes. Like that sounds terrible to me. Yeah, and it was the weirdest thing, and people didn't seem to focus on it enough. It immediately jumped out in the headline to me. Yes, Diddy innocent to some charges, guilty of others. That seems to be the headline to a lot of people. A supporter spraying people with baby oil outside felt like the kind of thing we needed to focus on more. That's just the way that I deal with things, or the way that my brain works.
Even if he was found guilty, it just feels like there's nothing to celebrate here at all.
Right.
You know, it's just an ugly, gross, ghoulish situation. And
Correct.
There's nothing. Yeah, he found guilty, fine. You know, justice served, whatever you want to say, but there's still nothing good here. There's still nothing that makes me feel good. So.
Right. And one more time, just for the cheap seats in the back, don't spray other people with baby oil. Don't do that. Surprisingly, like don't make that decision.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that like rice was annoying when people throw that in the air on top of you. Baby oil is a whole new level. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up on the show. Charlize Theron had a heck of a thing she said in a podcast. We'll get to that later today and quite a bit more. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. Matt's got your traffic.
All right, Craig, looking at eastbound 70, Hancock to Henry County. Eastbound 70 shut down all lanes because of an earlier semi-fire, and they have gone to work on the cleanup. Cleanup looks like a monster right now as we see this closure. It's an earlier semi-fire, and the semi is completely charged. So cleanup has begun. Traffic has stopped to State Road 9. That's where you want to exit, maybe even earlier at Mount Comfort Road. That's an option as well. Been getting a lot of help on this morning. Thank you to everybody that's messaged me at Matt in Traffic. Looking at out by Indianapolis International Airport, it is Plainfield where we have a crash. Westbound 70, blocking the left lane before Ronald Reagan Parkway. No delay at the moment. There is a slowdown. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel show. It's our special Independence Day show. We're going to play Back It Up Terry. We're going to have some of our favorite fireworks moments. Jeff Boggs is in for Nige. Let's go.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
At Kingdom Roofing Systems, they do more than just roofing. They believe in honoring those who've served. Kingdom Roofing Systems proudly participates in the Roof Deployment Project, which provides a brand new roof to a deserving U.S. veteran or active duty service member, absolutely free. You can help give back to those who have given so much. If you or someone you know has served, owns their home, and is in need of a new roof, apply today at kingdomroofingsystems.com/RDP. Kingdom Roofing Systems, building roofs, honoring heroes.
A diagnosis of Alzheimer's can make it a struggle to communicate with loved ones. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joyce House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I've got a tip which often helps that will be music to your ears. Don't go away.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
A growing number of studies show the power of music's role in those living with Alzheimer's. The next time a loved one seems to be tuned out, gently place headphones on them or simply turn on one of their favorite songs. Watch their eyes light up, and don't be surprised if they sing along or start chatting about the tune. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joyce House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Might seem like weekend heat on repeat. Mostly sunny and 71 degrees on Monument Circle. Today's high 88. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31. There's no secret it's going to continue to be hot in Indiana, with heat index values getting close to the triple digits this weekend.
No, well, it's still going to be humid. It's midsummer. You still got the summer humidity out there. It's just not going to be as oppressive.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says it won't feel as muggy or sticky outside, and there could be some rainfall periodically over the next few days. The House of Representatives debating President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill after voting to move forward with it this morning. House Speaker Mike Johnson delayed the vote after several Republicans voted with Democrats against it, and others had yet to cast their vote. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is criticizing the cuts the spending bill is making to Medicaid.
This runs directly contrary to what President Trump indicated in January, which was that he was going to love and cherish Medicaid. Nothing about this bill loves and cherishes Medicaid. It guts Medicaid.
President Trump is pushing for the spending bill to be passed by the end of tomorrow so he can sign it. How are President Trump's tariffs affecting the spending habits of Americans? Fox's Carmen Roberts reports.
A report by Alex Partners suggests President Trump's tariff policies are weighing on e-commerce, with consumers reconsidering how they make purchases. Overall, the survey shows 34% of shoppers are delaying purchases, 28% are making them earlier, and 20% are seeking made in USA products. The changes come as consumers try to time their online shopping to avoid the impact of tariffs, which are set to increase next week. Meantime, 26% of respondents said tariffs have had no impact on their online shopping. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
Then there's the financial struggle of Indiana food banks. Johnette Cruz with more on that.
Nearly a dozen Indiana food banks led by Feeding Indiana's Hungry have launched an advertising blitz across Indianapolis, Terre Haute, and Evansville. The campaign urges Hoosiers to contact their U.S. senators and representatives to oppose proposed congressional cuts to federal nutrition funding, including SNAP benefits. The executive director warns that such cuts could devastate families already struggling to feed themselves. A proposed bill in Congress virus could shift billions in funding to already strained budgets. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The FAA is investigating the crash of a skydiving plane that sent 15 people to a hospital Wednesday in New Jersey. The plane went off the runway and crashed at Cross Keys Airport in Gloucester County. The FAA says 3 people were seriously hurt, and the pilot says there was engine trouble before the crash. And set to rule the box office at the movies this weekend.
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less. More or less?
Is the movie Jurassic World Rebirth. It's expected to make nearly $130 million over the long holiday weekend. Jurassic World Rebirth stars Scarlett Johansson as a dinosaur hunter, and it also sets up a new series of Jurassic Park movies. And sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. The Indiana Fever say they're surging with confidence because they beat the team with the best record in the WNBA and the Minnesota Lynx to win the WNBA's Commissioner's Cup Tuesday night without Caitlin Clark. Fever forward Aaliyah Boston said Wednesday that victories like that provide inspiration.
We played without any pressure, and we wanted to focus on seeing how we measure up against Minnesota, considering they're a top team in the league. And so for us, coming out with that win was pretty great.
But they face the Las Vegas Aces tonight, and Clark will be out again as she deals with a groin injury. Tip off at 7 Eastern on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Major League Baseball scores from Wednesday. The Chicago Cubs overcame the Cleveland Guardians 5-4. The Cincinnati Reds beat the Boston Red Sox 8-4, and Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw becomes just the 20th Major League Baseball pitcher ever to reach 3,000 strikeouts in his career. He did that Wednesday night against the Chicago White Sox, but even acknowledged afterwards it wasn't as easy as it may have seemed.
It's a little bit harder when you're actually trying to strike people out. I've never really had to do that before. It was hard. You give the White Sox credit, too. They didn't make it easy on me at all.
And the Dodgers did emerge victorious 5-4. I'm John Herrick on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 7:35 with traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear.
All right, John, looking at Hancock County. Cleanup continues right now on a semi-fire. Eastbound 70 still closed from State Road 9 to State Road 109 because of the cleanup on the semi-fire. People are exiting at State Road 9, and I hate to take that backup. It's now stretching past the exit just a little bit. Shouldn't be too much of a delay to make your reroute and begin that at State Road 9, but still that slowdown is starting to creep into another set of traffic here. On the south side, northbound 65 slows after South Keystone Avenue went to the south split because of construction. And by Indianapolis International Airport, Plainfield westbound 70 before Ronald Reagan Parkway at Mariplex. Crash blocking the left lane. No delay. There is a slowdown. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road at North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It looks like we're going to have a chance of showers today, 20% chance after 3 o'clock. Otherwise, cloudy and a high of 90 degrees. Right now in downtown Indianapolis, it is 70 degrees. That temperature is brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Whenever I'm out wandering, chasing a rainbow dream, I often stop and think
That is the theme song for our Marketplace segment, where we find something silly or something weird, or I don't even know, just crazy things on Facebook Marketplace. It's brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed. IndianaUnclaimed.gov is the website to go to. Put in your information and get some cash. If there's any kind of money that you're owed out there anywhere in Indiana, they know about it and they want to send it to you. You just have to tell them who you are and where you live, and the rest is just going to happen in the mail, and it's great. I got money from them. Matt's got money from them. Carl, I assume, have you gotten money from Indiana?
Yes, I got over
no?
$200.
Over 200, but look at you.
Yeah.
I'm doing way better than the rest of us. Yeah, I know. That's incredible. I only got like 9, but I still got money, so that's all that matters. So do it as soon as you can, because you will not regret it. All right. Today's Facebook Marketplace item is a Indianapolis Colts Deadpool mask that I found. I don't know if you guys saw this yet. This thing is weird, but it's a regular Deadpool mask, like from the movie, but it's painted Indianapolis Colts colors. It's got the horseshoe in the corner. It's for a Colts fan in your life, is what they say. $120 plus shipping. You're gonna have to pay shipping.
Oh, I just saw it here. Okay, this is at Radio. What's your Twitter handle, Craig?
Radio Craig C.
Radio Craig C. You can check it out. Yeah, here on the marketplace, and this is super cool. It has a little Colts logo. It looks like a Deadpool mask, except in Colts colors. That's the caveat here. The only problem, Craig, there's no place to breathe.
There is not a place to breathe. Yeah.
There's like no holes for the nose or anything.
There are no holes for the nose or mouth. Yeah,
real Deadpool mask, except Deadpool.
It'll kill you.
You'll die.
You put this on and you'll suffocate, essentially.
Right. But you'll suffocate as a Colts fan, which is probably important to some.
Well, that's debatable nowadays.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it is what it is. But you wear this to the game, you'll make it through the first quarter and then probably keel over. That's the only thing.
You could punch a hole in it, like you could before you put it on. You could get I don't know if that would lower the price from the $120. I guess you could ask them to make a hole for you if you're going to pay for this mask.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing when you wear a brown paper bag to the game, and put it over your face. Because the team's losing, you can cut the holes out of the nose. And this is cool. I absolutely love it. It's something. It looks very. What's the word? Like it doesn't form with your face. Like it's actually covered like a shield instead of the thing that move around.
No, it probably is really uncomfortable to wear. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's probably several things about it are terrible, but honestly, it looks like something that'd be great to just display somewhere in your house as a Colts fan, and also a nerd of Marvel and comic book stuff. I don't know. I gravitated toward it when I saw it because I was wondering, as you just said, if someone would like wear it to a game, and it also made me curious if you, Matt Baer, have ever done anything as far as like painting yourself up to go to a game of some kind. Is there any sort of way that you've celebrated sports? By making yourself look ridiculous?
Not really. When I was in high school, the Colts made the AFC Championship game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that was really exciting because the Colts, it was before the Peyton Manning era. We were really spoiled during the Peyton Manning era. So all my friends and I, we took our cars and we put streamers on them and made signs and painted our cars up and everything like that. But that's the closest thing I ever did. I was never... the beer helmet or anything, and painted myself up. Even though, it sounds like a lot of fun. I've just never done it.
It is. It's I've never done it for a sporting event. This is weird to admit. It feels like I did this on purpose in this segment, and I didn't. But I have worn superhero costumes and stuff on Michigan Avenue in Chicago. And this was a radio bit.
Hell yes.
They wanted to send the producer outside looking like an idiot and see what happened. And so I was Mickey Mouse one year. I was the Incredible Hulk another year when they did this. There was a costume company that would give us a really nice free costume. And here's the one thing I realized about a person in a costume in a very public, popular place like the city of Chicago and the Magnificent Mile. People inherently trust you, and they shouldn't. Even with their kids. Kids would walk up to me and just take pictures with me. And I'm like, I'm a stranger in a costume you don't know, wandering streets without any version of this is officially okay. And kids are just yeah, go take a picture with him. And then taking a picture and leaving. It was amazing. And I should have asked for tips, but I didn't do it because it wasn't, downtown New York. So
tourists are so trusting sometimes, aren't they? I mean, it's just fantastic.
Yes.
Did you at least charge the kids to take the picture with you? Hey, I'm Deadpool or whatever.
All right. I should have done that part, man. I should have asked for some money, but I did not.
Give me your lemonade stand money. And then
It was amazing to me, though, that you could just walk around in a costume and people are going to think, oh, he's nice because we don't know who's in there, but whoever it is, they seem to be a fan of Mickey Mouse, and that's okay. And so, it was a whole thing.
At least you could have been rattling a cup of change or something,
I know. You're right. I should have done that, man.
Cash, as you say.
I should have been homeless Mickey Mouse and see how that goes.
At least they didn't have you dress up as the naked cowboy.
That's true. That would have been much worse. And I doubt anyone would have trusted that guy. That guy would have done a lot of horrible things.
Well, I can't play the guitar, so, that's not going to work.
I'm fairly certain there is video and or photo evidence of the thing I'm saying, and I hope no one ever finds it. All right, quick break. A lot to talk about throughout the show. This is Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. That's Matt. That's Carl. More in a sec.
Fireworks are special. And throughout the year, you'll see many displays of the rocket's red glare. But this weekend, they're extra special. This weekend, as you stare into the evening sky with family and friends, take a moment to remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice and those who are currently serving. so that we may all live in freedom. 93 WIBC.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models. Approved credit. Plus tax tag title license 199 dealer doc. RAV4 model 4432. Tacoma model 7540. 36 months. $29.99 due. Zero security. 10,000 annual miles. 15 cents per mile thereafter. Expires 7/7.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
Guys, Hammer and Nigel here. Don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with Indianapolis's leading experts in men's health.
Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergen X Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you won't find anywhere else. Download right now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. fixmylowt.com.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Craig, it's Hancock County to Henry County, where we have a full closure of eastbound 70 shut down because of an earlier semi-fire. The fire is out, but cleanup is going to take a while. So we're shut down eastbound 70 State Road 9. You're pushed there. You can push earlier at Mount Comfort Road. The goal is to go south and pick up US 40 to Knightstown. And then you can get back to 70. That is one option for you. East side, northbound 465, slow before and after Penn Pike. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. A 20% chance of showers, thunderstorms at about 3 o'clock or so today. Otherwise cloudy and a high of 90. 70 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
At Verizon, lock in our best price ever on the best 5G in Indianapolis and be the best you. Stream your favorite music on your morning commute. Get tickets to that new Blockbuster and save big with Verizon while you do it all. Switch today and pay $45 a month for a single line. That's right, just $45 a month when you bring in your phone with unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Stop by your nearest Verizon store today. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score Report dated 2H 2024. Your results may vary. Additional terms apply.
Hensley's Legal Group is one of those firms that puts the client above all else.
We pride ourselves in caring and communication. We're extremely passionate about helping them through their tough times. We truly want to see our clients get better.
It happens. Hire Hensley.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
You support them. Who supports you? Matt Bear and Ryan Hetrick provide insight, encouragement, and resources to help you navigate a loved one's recovery on the Supporting Sobriety podcast. Listen and get support wherever you get your podcasts.
Tony Katz in the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A whole lot to talk about. I got Matt, I got Carl hanging out with me as they do every morning on this show. When do you drink your first cup of coffee? I feel like we just talked about this yesterday, Matt and I, but a brand new study came out that says that you're doing it at the absolute wrong time. If you're having that cup of coffee, the first thing you do when you wake up, get out of bed, you are doing two things bad, according to science. The first, you're not allowing natural chemicals in your body to help wake you up. Those are things that start pumping within the first 30 to 60 minutes of being awake, and coffee might blunt them. And the second one, you're setting yourself up for that first massive crash happening shortly after you're getting to work. If the coffee you're having is, within an hour or so of doing that, a couple hours of doing that, when you first wake up in the morning, which most people do. So Matt Baer has a solution to this problem, I believe, and that's just way more coffee. Is that correct?
100%.
Yeah.
That is correct all the way.
Yeah,
and what they're talking about, your natural chemicals. I mean, I'm screw that. I want my coffee. I got to get going in the morning. I'm to the point right now because, I love my gig, but I do work a split shift. And I'm not breaking bricks. I know that. But I like to make the coffee the night before, like actually make it, like brew it. And then it's nice and cold for the next morning, so I don't have to worry about the hotness of it. I can just chug it. Chug it just straight from the cup. So I can keep pouring it in the cup, and then I'm ready to go away and come see Carl and you and talk to everybody.
Are you like a hot dog eating contest guy about coffee? Like you just drink it cold directly from the a pot that you cooked it in, kind of thing?
Are you saying, do I drink my coffee with hot dog buns and just eat the whole thing?
It's very like, are you the kind of guy that like coffee is now just an instrument to energy? You don't even care what it tastes like?
Yeah, I am, and there are some things that aren't so comfortable about that because it's kind of how I don't drink anymore. And I used to drink like that, and you look at both, and you're like, maybe this isn't the healthiest habit
it's fine.
to be doing. Well, the way I do it is kind of similar how I used to do the other thing, but at the same time, I mean, I look at it as I want to come in and not be grumpy.
Yes.
I want to come in, and coffee helps me do that. I know it's a chemical. I know it's you want to be naturally high all the time.
No, you can't be. Nobody's naturally high all the time.
I need my caffeine. I want to be a good coworker, and that's kind of the point of that.
There you go. Fantastic. Carl, you were going to say something about this?
There's nothing natural about 4 a.m., so there's no.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens at 4 a.m. in the city.
I love picturing Matt Baer with a cold, brewed the night before pot of coffee that he's just chugging. Like, it doesn't even go into a cup first. It's just right into the face.
It can confuse you a little bit because you smell that beautiful aroma of the coffee, and you're like, it's bedtime. Wait, am I supposed to get up right now? You don't know what the hell's going on. You're just confused,
You've Pavlov dogged yourself into thinking that the smell of coffee puts you to sleep.
Yeah, it just all runs together. It's what do I do? And it's like, well,
That's
don't
amazing.
drink the coffee.
You don't. They also, by the way, in the study, they said after 2 p.m. you should stop drinking coffee because it might keep you up at night.
Again, when you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you need that coffee at 2 p.m.
Yeah. I mean, it's what you do. I mean, this is ideal. This is like if you're working the ideal 9-to-5 job, if that is ideal for whoever. Yeah, that's how this fits into that. And for that, it's really good advice, but sometimes you kind of live outside of the box, and you have to find ways to make it work, like we all do. Everybody listening, you, me, we find ways to make it work. And that's what coffee is.
By the way, another thing that I love that's viral on social media right now are the things in hotel rooms that Gen Z is confused by. And apparently there's a lot of things in hotel rooms. The physical phone, even though I imagine they understand the idea of it, is one thing that a lot of people, Gen Z, younger than that, put up on social media like, why do we need this? Why can't I just use my cell phone and call down to the front desk? Why do they have to put a phone in my room? That's one item that is confusing people, but there are several others. Anyone want to react to the phone thing first and how people think that you shouldn't have it in a hotel room anymore?
I think that it's just bizarre to hear. I don't know what a regular phone is. That's how you do room service. I mean, somebody needs to explain to them the concept of room service and room bills, and then they're going to love that phone so much in the hotel.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that people are confused by is a plate on the wall that seems to be covered up. It used to have something, according to Gen Z. They don't know what it is, but now it's just seemed to be, pasted over. There's some sort of like plastic thing covering it. It's a hookup for landline internet connections that existed in a whole bunch of hotel rooms that Gen Z doesn't understand. They're like, what is this version of internet that you speak of, where you actually had to be on the telephone and it made the bleeping sound if you picked up the telephone? Yes, at one point, that's how we got on the internet, young children. And apparently the hotel rooms still have those boxes. They're just trying to cover them up with little like plastic, things over them.
I wish Gen Z would have had a dial-up modem. badly.
Honestly.
I mean, that would have been a good time. Show them the dial-up modem and your mom picking up the call while you're talking or trying to download a picture that takes 2 or 3 hours. You know? I mean, just saying, I mean, of course. I mean, these are all new things, as far as the landline. I mean, nothing gets better than the landline as far as actually being able to go back and forth and talk to somebody. I mean, that's true. It's the best way. I mean,
yes.
I'm sorry they don't know these things. Someday they will. Someday they'll see them in a museum and be like, oh, this is a phone. This is a phone booth. And this is, what.
Yeah. To be honest, it just makes me feel old. And I just like talking about it for that reason, that people don't understand what a connection to a landline internet connection is. Like, they look at it like, how does this work? And we all know the pain of the length it took to even get onto the internet when you hit the dial-up button and then waited for all the noises to happen. One other thing that I love that's out there, too, before we take a break, Tinder is now using a face recognition feature that requires you to show your face to your phone in order to get into the dating app to make sure that you are, in fact, the person that you're pretending to be online. It doesn't mean that you can't still have, overly, worked out photos, filtered photos that make you look much better than how you actually look. But you actually have to, in some way, shape, or form, resemble those photos to get into the app. People are saying this is a good thing. Other people are saying this is too far. What do we think about Tinder having face recognition?
I think it's going to be regardless. I think it's going to be dated technology in 5 years because of AI. I mean, pictures are going to be generated. People are going to be using those. And unfortunately, it makes a very viable option with online dating, something that's even a little bit creepier than what it is now. So you do that at your own risk and just make sure you take care of yourself while you're doing it because, man, there's some weird stuff on Tinder. I'm telling you that. I don't do it anymore just for certain reasons. It's just
that's a good PSA.
I don't feel particularly safe using Tinder. I just don't.
No, that's a good PSA from Matt Baer. There's some weird stuff on Tinder. The more you know, from Matt Baer. Matt's got some traffic for us. We'll be back in a little bit.
Eastbound 70 still closed in Hancock to Henry County from State Road 9 to State Road 109 because of an earlier semi-fire. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hello, my name is Nate Clancy. I'm with Labor's Local 120. I've been with Labor's Local 120 for over 40 years now.
For members of Labor's International Union of North America, giving back is part of their commitment to the Indy community, like helping the Soapbox Derby.
We painted the bridge. The Wilbershaw Bridge is an iconic bridge for the Soapbox Derby. It's been there forever. It was, needing work.
When Indy or surrounding communities need help, LIUNA steps up.
Members that went over there, we seen that it was needing work, power washed, done the painting, just anything that was needed, and it looks amazing now.
This is Chris Bricky, business manager of Labor's Local 120. While all our members are skilled, highly trained men and women, we are also your friends, neighbors, Little League coaches, and volunteers here in Indy.
Here at the local, I like volunteering in the community. Just every little bit helps. I really got a real joy in doing that.
We build Indy for good jobs and stronger communities. We are LIUNA Local 120.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SAVVY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text SAVVY to 42424. That's SAVVY to 42424.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Hammer and Nigel.
Now, the idea of Uber goes against everything we were taught as kids, though.
What's that?
Never get into a car with a stranger.
But there's betting.
Now we pay for it. We're literally paying the stranger to take us somewhere.
But at least there's some sort of vetting. You know the name of the person coming.
So you'll know your kidnapper. It's like having an alarm on your car. Great, I can hear it being stolen.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hey, this is Rob. Be sure to join us Thursday. Stephen Whitmer from the Indy Reporter will be here. Nikki Kelly from the Indiana Capital Chronicle will be here. We'll see you 9 to noon, 93 WIBC.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Hammer and Nigel show. It's our special Independence Day show. We're going to play Back It Up Terry. We're going to have some of our favorite fireworks moments. Jeff Boggs is in for Nige. Let's go.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, how much federal money is heading to Indiana and what it's being used for. A ruling on state government workers and whether or not they can work remotely, plus an expedition from the Purdue Research Foundation and what they hope to accomplish. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 8 o'clock.
They're still waiting to vote in the House. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. To get final approval of President Trump's one big, beautiful budget bill, he posted on Truth Social after midnight. For Republicans, it should be an easy vote, and he's been calling lawmakers.
There are going to be a lot of great jobs, Mr. Speaker, a lot of great jobs in this country. America's coming back.
Congressman Steve Scalise, the bill would make the soon-to-expire 2017 tax cuts permanent. It also makes spending cuts to programs like Medicaid, with Republicans adding a work requirement.
These so-called work requirements are just a smokescreen.
Democratic Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has delayed the vote this morning with a 3-hour speech still going on.
More than 90% of the people who receive Medicaid benefits who can work do work.
Democrats also say the bill would balloon the national debt. There's a search for gunmen in Chicago, where a late-night drive-by shooting outside a nightclub left 4 people dead, 14 wounded. Sean Diddy Combs remains jailed. A judge rejected the rapper and music producer's attempt to be released on bail in New York City, awaiting sentencing on prostitution charges. The jury acquitted Combs on sex trafficking and racketeering.
And all of the components to it. The kidnapping, he was innocent of that. The arson, he was innocent of that. The obstructing justice, he was innocent of that.
Combs' attorney Mark Agnifilo. Israel went after Hamas again in Gaza with more airstrikes. Palestinian officials say 94 people were killed in the strikes and in shootings near a food distribution site amid a U.S. brokered ceasefire attempt.
Hamas's leaders will debate the plan and ask for clarifications before issuing an official response. But President Trump says Israel has already agreed to a 60-day ceasefire. The most recent proposal called for half the remaining hostages held by Hamas to be released. It holds 50 Israelis, around 20 still believed alive. Yesterday, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu promised Hamas would cease to exist when the war ends.
That's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It might feel like weekend heat on repeat. Mostly sunny and 72 on Monument Circle right now, but it feels like 78 88 is the high today. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02. It's no secret it's going to be hot in Indiana with heat index values getting close to the triple digits this weekend.
Well, it's still going to be humid. It's midsummer. You still got the summer humidity out there. It's just not going to be as oppressive.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says it will not be as muggy or sticky outside, and there could be some rainfall periodically over the next few days. More on your forecast with Wish TV in a moment. The state of Indiana is supposed to get $6.25 million from the federal government to increase registered apprenticeships. Governor Mike Braun saying the money will ensure that Indiana is in a prime position to deliver on President Trump's executive order to modernize American workforce programs. This grant from the U.S. Department of Labor is part of nearly $84 million that's being spent nationally. State government workers being told they need to return to work in person or work exclusively from home. Governor Mike Braun also on this, rescinding the hybrid remote work agreements this week for nearly 8,500 people. There are now 537 employees with active remote work agreements. A shooting on I-70 over the weekend, and now police say an arrest has been made. With more on that, here's 93 WIBC's Jarrett Lewis.
According to Indiana State Police, the shooting happened Saturday on I-70 near Shadeland Avenue. Troopers found a Toyota Camry on the right shoulder of the interstate with a man inside who had been shot in the shoulder. Multiple bullet holes were also found on the side of the car. Detectives were able to generate multiple leads on a possible suspect vehicle. That eventually led them to arresting 19-year-old Jonathan Avila Molina on Tuesday. Multiple firearms were also seized from his vehicle. Avila Molina now faces preliminary charges of attempted murder and unlawful possession of a firearm. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Former Washington Township trustee in Decatur County, Christian Rust, was arrested this week.
State police tell us that he stole thousands of dollars on his last day in office. Investigators say Rust disguised it as health benefits, but provided no insurance policy to receive those funds. Investigators say he also is responsible for removing multiple files from government computers. A special prosecutor from Henry County is handling this case.
Wish TV's Farron Fronsack reporting Rust is charged with theft and misconduct. Investigators say Rust paid himself more than $29,000. He's due in court next on September 15th. American aviation pioneer Amelia Earhart went missing in 1937, but the Purdue University Research Foundation announced on Wednesday that they're going to try and find her lost plane. Steve Schultz is the legal counsel for that foundation. He says they'll be heading to Nikumaroro Island to try and find the 10E Electra flown by Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan.
And we're going there on November 1st or thereabouts, and we will spend 6 days going there by boat. This will be for the purpose of identifying whether that object is the Electra.
He says if they find the Electra, they'll bring it back to Purdue, which is what Earhart would have wanted. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 8:05 with traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear.
All right, eastbound 70 shut down going from Hancock to Henry County. That is a full closure because of an earlier semi-fire. The fire is out. Cleanup's going to take a while. And they are well underway doing that. Traffic is stopped past State Road 9 to Fortville Pike and a little bit beyond that. So if you want to completely avoid the delay, your exit is at Mount Comfort Road. You can go south, pick up US 40 from there. Out by Indianapolis International, this is Plainfield where we have a crash. Westbound 70 before Ronald Reagan Parkway. Left lane is blocked, no delay. Traffic sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association. Nitro's back. The IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series is lighting up the track. Grab your tickets for Columbus, July 9th through the 12th, now at IHRA.com. That's IHRA.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, good morning. We're going to look for lots of sunshine today. It is going to be very warm, and humidity values do increase a little bit. We'll go with a high today of 89 degrees. Mostly clear, mild and muggy tonight. Lows will only fall to about 70. On Friday, if you're heading to any of those parades or festivals, be prepared for a dry but hot and humid day. We're going to go with highs in the lower 90s. We'll stay around 92 for Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be hot and humid. Partly cloudy Sunday, maybe a few showers or storms later in the day on Sunday.
Thank you very much. Right now, it is 8:06 Thursday morning.
Johnny Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A whole bunch of stuff out there to talk about in the world. Let's do this first. AOC was caught lying yet again. She recently lied about being someone who grew up in the Bronx, even though she absolutely spent a lot of her life in a very fancy suburb in upstate New York and not in the Bronx at all. She may have been a bartender in the Bronx. She may have occasionally gone to the Bronx. She did not seem to be raised there. But that's just a lie that's already been fact-checked. This is a new one. She claimed in her rant yesterday about the big, beautiful bill that it'll raise taxes on people, and it'll be especially mean to people who make $50,000 or less. The actual truth, the reality, the biggest percentage cut of anyone that's going to pay less taxes is for people making $50,000 or less. They will be paying the least amount of taxes comparatively to what their taxes would have been without this bill or in general. So they're doing quite well in the big, beautiful bill. AOC doesn't care about the truth, though. She just likes to yell about stuff. Here we go.
Bill, on this point of tax on tips, as one of the only people in this body who has lived off of tips, I want to tell you a little bit about the scam of that tax, a little bit of the fine print there. The cap on that is $25,000. And
I'm going to stop it right there for just a second, because this is the other thing that made news. And yeah, the Senate did add a cap. The cap didn't exist in the House's bill. The Senate said 25 grand before you would start paying some amount of taxes on your tips. Here's the thing that a lot of people who get tips know, and it matters to say it, and over time not having any taxes is important too. But there's a lot of times where if you get a cash tip and people aren't supposed to do this, you don't report it to anybody, which means the taxes are unaware of it. You're not paying taxes on it anyway. So essentially the $25,000 would be the capped version of credit card or, any sort of card tips that people are paying where you can't hide that money from the IRS. I'm not encouraging you to do it, but a whole lot of people who've gotten tipped money absolutely know that if you get a cash tip, you're unlikely to fill out some forms to let the government know that that money was given to you. That essentially is just fake money or, invisible money or whatever you want to call it. It's obviously real. But so the $25,000 cap isn't as stringent as AOC makes you want to believe it is, because honestly, there's a whole lot of tip situations where people weren't paying taxes to begin with. So this is just an add-on to that. But darn it, I digress. Let's get to the part where she's just blatantly lying.
While you're jacking up taxes on people who make less than $50,000 across the United States.
That's a blatant
while
lie.
Taking away their SNAP, while taking away their Medicaid, while kicking them off of the ACA and their health care extensions.
Here's the thing that Democrats really, truly hate about this bill, if they were being honest about it, is there's a bunch of ways for people who have kids, people who are in need of certain welfare assistance, who still get it. Honestly, a lot of the hoops, a lot of the hurdles you have to jump through to stay on Medicaid, if you're getting it right now, Medicare, and we think maybe you don't deserve it, or at least a whole bunch of politicians think that you might be fraudulently using that system, you're usually going to wind up being a single person. You're not going to be a parent of little kids. Those people are exempt from having to jump through these additional hoops. There's a bunch of those caveats. So what Democrats hate is the example they can usually go to, the most dramatic, the most heartstring pulling a version of, this is why this person came into the country illegally, is their mom with 2 young kids and they couldn't make it wherever they're from. In the version of the Medicaid, Medicare discussion, that's actually carved out for. And this is a genius move by Republicans, in all honesty, because it weakens that argument that Democrats always go to of this is my most extreme example. When they talk about abortion, they immediately go to rape and incest, which is a fraction of a percentage of people who choose to get an abortion. But that's how Democrats want to argue these points. They want to find the most, extreme, emotion-specific argument that they can and lean into it. And in this world with Medicaid and Medicare and the big, beautiful bill, if they do it, and AOC is still doing it here, they're being incredibly dishonest. All right, another thing out there that I thought was interesting, and this is just a weird thing that exists, but for some reason, Hakeem Jeffries decided that he wanted to go on social media and talk about how he's going to fight the big, beautiful bill, and he has a Louisville Slugger bat in his hands. So Hakeem Jeffries the minority leader, a person who, wants to be the face of the Democratic Party, is trying to look tough. And most people are comparing him to Mr. Burns on The Simpsons, and the Simpsons episode where Mr. Burns tried to attack someone with a bat and couldn't lift it. Because if you don't know The Simpsons, that's the old guy who's the boss on the show, and he would struggle in a lot of cases, and that's the energy that Hakeem Jeffries is giving off. Mr. Burns struggling to lift a bat energy is what people are saying, and that is absolutely hilarious. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. This is Craig Collins filling in just before the holidays. Tony Katz in the Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Hey, this is Rob. Be sure to join us Thursday. Stephen Whitmer from the Indy Reporter will be here. Nikki Kelly from the Indiana Capital Chronicle will be here. We'll see you 9 to noon, 93 WIBC.
I had 1,000 questions about retiring. The biggest being, will I have enough money, enough income coming in after I retire? You can probably relate. I met with Trajan Wealth. Now I have answers and a real plan. Jeff here in the downtown Indy office, super cool guy, good teacher. At Trajan, they're not just advisors, they're fiduciaries, which means they act in our best interest always. And they really did treat me like family. Call for your first appointment. It's free, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com. I'm a client today because Trajan earned my trust. They took the stress off my shoulders. They can do the same for you. Call Trajan Wealth and get your plan started today. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. 317-480-4040. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
So what's in the bag today? Yesterday's leftovers? Another lunch meat sandwich? Well, go ahead and pull up a rock and settle in for a half hour of I wish I was eating something else. Or you could be eating something else, or someplace else. If you're brown bagging it at the corner of 30th and Shadeland area, drop over to His Place Eatery for 30 minutes of why didn't I know about this place sooner? Nothing fancy, not a lot of frills. They save that for the quality of the meal. Like ribs that fall off the bone, southern fried chicken, sides that will cause your taste buds to thank you into tomorrow. Put that in your brown bag and eat it. Better yet, bank the bag. Go to His Place Eatery at the corner of 30th and Shadeland, or the newest location off 86th and Ditch Road. Your dirty boots and work clothes are welcome here. His Place, your place for lunch. Go to hisplaceeatery.com to learn more. Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. Destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Hancock to Henry County, we have a full closure on eastbound 70. That's because of an earlier semi-fire. The fire is out. Cleanup has begun. It's going to take a while. Traffic is stopped past State Road 9 past Fortville Pike. And the Benner exit point right now is going to be Mount Comfort Road if you want to avoid the delay entirely. Exit at Mount Comfort Road and go south to US 40 as part of your reroute. Out by the airport, Indianapolis International, Plainfield, crash westbound 70 before Ronald Reagan Parkway. 2 left lanes are blocked and no delay at the moment. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Save on top brands like Electrolux, Frigidaire, and more during the red, white, and blue sale at Grand Appliance. Visit grandappliance.com or your local Grand today. That's grandappliance.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. 20% chance of rain, thunderstorms, all kinds of things after 3 o'clock today. High of 90. Right now in downtown Indianapolis, it is 70 degrees. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models. Approved credit. Plus tax tag title license 199 dealer doc. RAV4 model 4432. Tacoma model 7540. 36 months. $29.99 due. Zero security. 10,000 annual miles. 15 cents per mile thereafter. Expires 7/7.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt and Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. I know that Hammer and Nigel are going to play Back It Up Terry later. I believe this is a July 4th tradition for them to play that viral video from years ago, several years ago, of a guy in a wheelchair lighting fireworks with a friend, and then his wheelchair craps out on him, and so he sits next to the fireworks while they're firing off, and the dude holding the camera doesn't help. He just keeps yelling, "Back it up, Terry," and kind of laughing about it. The guy's okay, for anyone that's unaware of this video. I'm going to play the audio, though, and there's a reason why I'm going to do this. I'm not trying to steal the thunder of Hammer and Nigel, but I believe they do this every 4th of July, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go.
Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Terry? Terry,
Terry eventually gets away from the fireworks, and he winds up being okay. But this is a tradition, correct, for Hammer and Nigel to play that?
Oh, yeah. Their 4th of July pre-show or pre-4th of July show is just, it's always amazing every single year. It starts at 3 o'clock today. It's so good.
Sounds amazing. Do they play the rap version of Back It Up, Terry, or no?
I haven't heard that. Maybe they do.
Okay. I'm curious if they do. Not as widely known as the Back It Up, Terry audio, but I think equally as good. And so this is a submission for their consideration. If they don't play this, the hip-hop version of that video for them to add to their July 4th celebrations. Here we go.
Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry.
Yeah, honestly, it's the "Oh Lord" that really gets me on that one, and how it gets added in there.
This is so good.
So yeah, that's just my suggestion for Hammer and Nigel, if they haven't played it before, to add that to their holiday extravaganza.
That's so well done.
Yeah, I know.
I kind of enjoyed that. I was like, I could put that on at the YMCA later.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you could work out to that.
Absolutely.
Put it in reverse there. All right, some other things out there. I'll move on from that. And again, I kind of did steal their whole bit, so I apologize for that in advance. But really, radio is just stealing from others, and that's how we acknowledge talent, I think. It's at least what I tell myself. A husband was slammed at a birthday party for asking his wife what she thought was a rage-inducing question. This happened in Connecticut. The woman had created a Cinderella-themed birthday for their young kid. Her name is Courtney. She went above and beyond. Like, it's ridiculous. The kid's 4 years old, by the way. They're going to barely remember their Cinderella birthday in a few years, and certainly not by the time they're older. But darn it, hey, mom's trying to do mom things. This is great. At one point, on video, the dad looks at his wife and says, "Hey, did you remember a cake?" And she had gone so crazy far in a detail-oriented party that, of course, she had a cake, you idiot. And so she got so mad at him for that question. And I can explain it. As a man, by the way, a married man, why our brain would go there. I can do that. But first, does anyone else want to react to the woman saying that she was livid with the "did you remember the cake" question at the ridiculously over-the-top, detail-oriented party?
Well, you put that much time and effort in it. You just want to make sure all the details are correct. I think it's maybe I'm trying to find the glass half full.
Sure, I can do it. I can do it. I promise I can do it. I know why we ask those dumb questions in that moment as men. I know why. And the reason why is not because we actually think you forgot the cake. We're pretty sure we forgot it. Like, if we see all this happening, it's true. We see all this happening. The whole party has been planned. You asked nothing from us. We weren't told to run out and get something. We're pretty sure we had a job. We usually have a job. And so when we dumb it down to the simplest thing, we're like, oh, she probably wanted me to get the cake. And so instead of saying, did I forget the cake? You said, did you get a cake to the person you're with? So then they're supposed to react with, didn't you get it? And then you run out and go grab it. That's how you react. So we're not actually accusing you of being an idiot. We're admitting we're a moron. We're just trying not to do it in the direct sense. We're beating around the bush.
Failed relationships, Craig. One thing that I've learned, I would ask that question even though I have the knowledge already of whether or not we have the cake. I would ask that question just to show her that I'm trying to be involved. Because I know this is your baby and that you've worked really hard on this party, and I know I haven't done enough.
Yeah.
And I probably feel guilty about it. So, hey, do we have the cake? You know, I mean, it's a dumb question. I know the answer, but I'm trying to show her that I'm trying to be part of the thing. You know, that I really care about this, even though I'm like, man, why are we spending all this money on this thing? You know?
That's a fantastic secondary option for why we asked the dumb question. It's the best thing we could think of to act like we are trying to help. Like, we looked at the party, and there's probably way more specific things we could pretend that we were worried you forgot for the Cinderella themed party, but our brain's not where your brain is. So the only thing we can think of is we need a cake. I better make sure we have one of those. And then she thinks that I'm helping make this party successful. Yes, it's one of those two things, but it's an us thing. It's not a you thing. So don't get mad. You're making it worse.
I'm asking you the question because I know I'm a lousy boyfriend.
Right. That's I'm an idiot husband.
Yeah.
I know this. But please, don't treat me like one immediately after I say the dumb thing. All right, another thing out there that I saw, I do like this a lot too, and I don't know how we're going to feel about this. It's a morning show, so I am going to be delicate as I dance around a bit of an adult topic here. 1/4 of Americans say that financial stress is making things less romantic in the bedroom right now. 26% of Americans say they're incapable of romance in the bedroom because money is at the forefront of their mind. It is a mood killer, according to some. Some people are even saying that, like, bank statements flash through their head and they're incapable of doing other things. I would think, just personally, that a nice escape from the worries of financial stress would be romance in the bedroom. I would think that'd be a nice avenue to go down for a little bit, to where you don't have to think about how money is going. But apparently people are not in that same boat.
Well, of course you're worried about money. You have to pay her.
Wow.
You know,
Hey now. Okay. Yeah, I got nothing in response to that, bud.
I mean, you got to pick up the hotel room. You have to do the whole thing. You know? I'm just saying.
Carl has lost it. He's gone.
It is what it is, man. I mean, it could be anything. I mean, it could be money, stress, work, anything related to that. And that can cause some sort of performance anxiety. And we're all adults. I can say that, you know? I mean, maybe no. Apparently, we can't say that.
Right.
Thank you,
It's
Carl.
the opposite. Yeah. It's the other way.
It could be.
It happens to everybody.
Yes, and then to me, it's you know, you enter that first part of the relationship and you can't stay away from each other. You always have your hands all over. Everything is hot and heavy. And then, as I understand it, with people that have been married before, you get into the real marriage part, and that's when it gets difficult. And that's when the other things start to creep up, when you're out of that really hot romancy period of that relationship. So I suppose it could be anything. And money's just the thing they're talking about here. But yeah, there's a deeper issue. It's more than the money, man. There could be
the thing that's funny to me about that is, like, people who have dated for more than a couple months know that infatuation phase wears off. I love that people pretend that it's just the marriage thing that ruins that environment, because you know that the hot and heavy hands all over each other thing, it only can last a few months, I think, unless that's the whole reason you're in a relationship. And then in that case, it might last forever.
Don't like your timetable there. Yeah, a few months. I need that joyous period to be going a little bit longer. And I hear about relationships. No, I hear about marriages where that continues, where you actually are still interested in that woman or man, whatever you're doing. Which sounds pretty cool to me. I think that sounds great.
You said still interested. There's a fine line between it happening all the time and like not at all. So I want to make sure that that's out there because yes, you hopefully are still interested. But I will say this as clearly as I can. I think that and this is a weird thing we're talking about early in the morning. Darn it, who cares? The hot and heavy, like you can't keep your hands off of somebody. If that lasts for like years, I think that's the only reason you're in the relationship. Because I don't think that's the kind of thing that can last forever unless it's the main reason that two people have coupled up.
How many breaks are they taking during those few years? How many times we need time apart, and then you get together again, and actually it's progressive because you're like, oh man, I forgot how great this was, and then it's like, oh, this sucks. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. Man.
How many volatile breakups are they having? Much like me and my first high school girlfriend did, and that lasted into a little bit of college.
The woman
now
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Greg.
I was going to say this is now a conversation I shouldn't be having on the radio. But what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to echo what you're saying. I was in a relationship, thought I was going to marry this woman, and the reason we were able to keep it so fresh is because it was a long-distance relationship. Yeah, she lived in states far away from me, and we kind of, every time we saw, ooh, it was fun. But I think we eventually got to the point of what would it be like if we were spending every day together. And we're just such personalities that had trouble meshing. Nothing wrong with her. She was a terrific woman. I mean, there's something wrong here. But, it's out of the can.
My first real girlfriend was insane. It was not me at all. It was 100% her. But breaking up was the best part of our relationship. And then the getting back together. All right, I got to take a break. We got to get to a lot of stuff to get to. Matt's got traffic.
Eastbound 70 still closed from Hancock to Henry County. That's because of an earlier semi-fire. Fire's out there cleaning it up, and I'm being told by Hancock IN 911 at Matt in Traffic. That's their Twitter handle. They're waking up sleeping drivers right now, so trying to get people moving again, and they want everything back to normal before 10 a.m. So a little bit of a timestamp on that, and we appreciate the information. So hopefully we can get this thing going maybe around 10. I mean, this is a monster cleanup going on right now. The fire is out, but still a lot of semi-rubble to clean up. Eastbound 70 stopped past State Road 9. Past Fortville Pike. I mean, this delay stretches several miles from the Greenfield exit, so I would exit Mount Comfort Road if you'd like to avoid all that. Also, southbound 6570, downtown construction slow. Washington Street to the south split. Northbound 65 slow because of construction from Raymond Street into the south split. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and Raver Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
Hammer and Nigel show. It's our special Independence Day show. We're going to play Back It Up Terry. We're going to have some of our favorite fireworks moments. Jeff Boggs is in for Nige. Let's go.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory on West Minnesota Street. The best dealers in the region, hundreds of tables, just $6 for adults, kids 12 and under free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory. For more info, visit centralindianagunshows.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Just how warm is it supposed to be? Right now, up to 74 degrees in the Circle City. Nothing on your radar. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31. Temperatures will get into the 90s this weekend all across Indiana.
While it will be hot and humid outside, not seeing those levels fall into like those the dangerous category.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there might be some sporadic rainfall this weekend, but nothing severe. The House of Representatives is debating President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill after voting to move forward with it this morning. But Democrat Gabe Amo of Rhode Island is against it.
People will suffer, people will die, and it will be at the hands of Republicans who vote yes.
Republicans have praised the bill for extending the 2017 tax cuts while also cutting federal spending. President Trump says he wants to sign it by tomorrow. The president also calling for the head of the Federal Reserve to resign immediately. Trump made the call Wednesday after he sent a letter to Fed Chair Jerome Powell demanding that the central bank lower the benchmark interest rate by a lot. The president says Powell is holding back economic growth with his cautious stance on interest rates. A shooting outside a nightclub in Chicago Wednesday night left 4 people dead and at least 14 others injured.
The victims' ages range from 21 to 31 years old. Police tell us a dark-colored vehicle drove past the location. Someone pulled out a gun and started shooting at a large crowd that was standing outside. Many people seen running for cover. Now, it is unknown if there were multiple shooters. We do know the sidewalk remains littered with blood, shoes, and clothing. The shooting happened outside Artist Restaurant and Lounge, which recently opened.
That's Nate Rogers of Fox TV affiliate WFLD in Chicago. Police say they're still searching for suspects. A church leader in Indianapolis recently gave a sermon where he said, "Pray the gay away." Wish TV's Kyla Russell has more.
And it was given from the pulpit inside the Sure Foundation Baptist Church on the northwest side of the city.
There's nothing good to be proud about. Being a you want to blow yourself in the back of the head. You're so disgusting.
That's Stephen Falco. He's inside the Fundamental Baptist Church and is speaking during men's preaching night. The event was live streamed on their Facebook.
Got a bunch of that want to come around, walk on our streets and demand our children, and we should look them in the eye and say, no, you're not going to have our children.
The concerned clergy of Indianapolis say they stand strongly against Falco's rhetoric. The U.S. men's national soccer team will face Mexico this Sunday in the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup final. This after the U.S. took down Guatemala 2-1 on Wednesday in St. Louis. Both goals were scored by Diego Luna, who was named the man of the match. And sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark will sit out tonight's game against Las Vegas as she continues to recover from a left groin injury. That's something Fever head coach Stephanie White spoke about on Wednesday at practice.
I don't want this to be something that lingers, that we come back too soon. We want to make sure that she is 100% ready to go and that we put her long-term health and wellness as at the forefront.
The Fever are coming off a Commissioner's Cup championship win against the Minnesota Lynx, and Indiana's won 3 of its last 4 games. You can hear tonight's game at 7 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. 2 former Indiana Pacer head coaches have landed coaching jobs elsewhere in the NBA. It was announced on Wednesday that former Pacer head coach Frank Vogel is becoming the lead assistant coach with the Dallas Mavericks, while former Pacer assistant coach Mike Brown will be the next head coach of the New York Knicks. Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw got his 3,000th career strikeout Wednesday night against the Chicago White Sox, and he said afterwards the moment was surreal.
A lot of strikeouts tonight, so it wasn't I didn't really do my part, but you could feel the tension in the fans, and they were trying to will me to do it.
He's saying he had 3 strikeouts, and he wished he would have had more in 6 innings of work, but the Dodgers still won the game 5-4. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 8:35 with traffic on the 5s. Map Air.
All right, John, eastbound 70 Hancock to Henry County. All lanes still closed because of that earlier semi-fire, and we're shut down at State Road 9. You can exit there, but you'll have a 3-mile backup to deal with before you get to the exit. So I'm peeling off at Mount Comfort Road and heading south to US 40 from there. Northbound 65 is stopped all of a sudden. Okay, this is after South Keystone Avenue past Raymond Street. We're working on this right now. This is a period of stop traffic in a construction zone. Looking out in plain Greenfield crashed by Indianapolis International Airport. It goes westbound 70 before Ronald Reagan Parkway. 2 left lanes. Block, no delay. There is a slowdown. Please be safe. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go with the pros gears for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road at North Shadeland or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. 20% chance of showers, thunderstorms, mostly after 3 o'clock today. Increasing clouds as well. A high of 90 right now in downtown Indianapolis. It is 70 degrees. That temperature is brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Kingdom Roofing Systems, they do more than just roofing. They believe in honoring those who've served. Kingdom Roofing Systems proudly participates in the Roof Deployment Project, which provides a brand new roof to a deserving U.S. veteran or active duty service member, absolutely free. You can help give back to those who have given so much. If you or someone you know has served, owns their home, and is in need of a new roof, apply today at kingdomroofingsystems.com/RDP. Kingdom Roofing Systems, building roofs, honoring heroes.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A bunch of stuff to talk about just before the holiday. The prerequisite Katy Perry fireworks song required. I think contractually forced to play it at some point on the show. Let's do some audio from Mike Johnson first. This is from earlier this morning, talking about how they will need to pass the big, beautiful bill in the House today, most likely, or very soon. Because they don't want it to be ping-ponging between the House and the Senate as significant changes are done again and again and again, so that they have to keep voting on the bill. They'd like to pass the version the Senate has sent them, even if there are some Republicans, some conservatives, some financially motivated individuals. I don't mean that they have skin in the game. I mean that they'd like to be the fiscal hawks that we voted them to be, that would like to pare down parts of the spending in this bill. But here's what Mike Johnson said to Fox News, I think, earlier this morning.
Right. We want to avoid a ping-pong scenario where it goes back and forth between the chambers, because then your chances of success are diminished. And so we believe we can get everybody to yes. We've got to get the final questions answered. The White House has been very helpful in that and fully cooperative, and that increases our chances of success here. The risk of failure is too great. All those things that you just said are included in this legislation. We call it the one big beautiful bill for a reason, because it is both. And 85% or so of the president's agenda and campaign promises are wrapped into this. We are going to deliver it, and we got to do it as soon as possible.
85% of what President Trump campaigned on and promised to us is within this bill, according to Speaker Mike Johnson, and that's why it's imperative that it passes. All right, one other thing that is a bigger deal to some, maybe been missed by others, is the U.S.-Vietnam trade deal that was recently announced by President Trump earlier this morning, and what it means for the rest of the countries negotiating potential trade deals with the United States. President Trump had put a 46% tariff rate on imports from Vietnam as the way to get negotiations going. He imposed a lot of tariffs on a whole lot of places and then rescinded them. These tariffs would have restarted again if there wasn't a different trade deal replacing them. But here's the thing that everybody's paying attention to. The new deal includes a 20% duty on Vietnamese imports sent into the United States. So essentially, tariffs are not going away. They're just being halved, or a little bit more than halved. Beyond that, too, Vietnam has agreed to charge absolutely nothing for products from the United States that go into their country. And even more so, they're going to pay a 40% duty on any products that originally are created in another country, then sent to Vietnam for a final shipment before going on to the United States. This, of course, is very specifically to prevent China from getting around tariffs by sending its products to places like Vietnam to finish something or barely do anything, and then send it off to the United States as if it's a made in Vietnam product. This matters. This is significant for a lot of reasons. The biggest one to me, though, and the one that I keep talking about for whatever reason it is that I keep focusing on this, is all of the big spending and the big, beautiful bill, the thing that Mike Johnson said they absolutely need to pass today, could be somewhat alleviated, if not tremendously alleviated, by significant tariffs continuing to exist for a long time on products that are brought into this country from other places. And obviously, the way in which we prevent that from being incredibly costly to the everyday American is to create more things here at home that are cheaper, that we can buy without having to deal with the tariff cost. That's the whole plan. That's the whole idea, is to create a scenario where a bunch of companies reinvest in creating products here on our shores, creating jobs here on our shores. And I do know that automation might eventually be a lynch or a stumbling point in that whole version of the jobs were created, but they're not really being done by people, and thus we're not getting a whole lot more as far as positions from this. But that's going to happen anyway. No matter what we do, no one's stopping AI from eventually taking several jobs that we don't want it to take. But as I say all that, again, I just want to point out that many people, many other countries, and many analysts are saying that this is a bad sign for the rest of the world because the United States didn't completely remove any sort of duties, any sort of costs for Vietnamese products coming into this country. And I think it's exactly the plan and the reason why the big, beautiful bill won't wind up costing as much as they claim it's going to cost. We will generate quite a bit more additional revenue and prevent a lot more debt from being created, because this is what we want to do. This is what President Trump wants to do, to revitalize the creation, manufacturing of things right here in the United States. All right, quick break. A little bit more coming up. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz in the Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Kendall and Casey.
What are we seeing right now on Capitol Hill? Everybody conforming, everybody standing together rather than people standing up for what's right. What did we see during the legislative session? All of these Republicans, nobody for the most part will stand up or be different or raise their voice or be heard, not doing the thing that brought them to the dance. They worry how it'll affect their power.
Kendall and Casey, weekdays 9 till noon on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Matt Bear for Concrete Exteriors. Maybe these Indiana storms, that big wave we just had, damaged your roof or siding. Well, Concrete Exteriors is now offering free inspections to assess the condition of your home. From blown-offs, full replacements, just dings, all that. Concrete Exteriors knows the insurance process will make your home as good as new as fast as possible. Help your home find the Fountain of Roof. Trusted company that was here before the storm will be long after for your free, no-obligation consultation. Schedule today, concreteexteriors.com, 317 Roofing. Concrete Exteriors, referred for a reason, for over 15 years.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220. That's Tony Katz to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
All right. Craig, looking at the south side, working this up here at the moment. Northbound 65 completely stopped before South Keystone Avenue past Raymond Street. And now we're closed. Okay, there it is. Northbound 65 now closed after Raymond Street because of fallen power cables, as I've been told. And traffic is stopped back to 465. So everything is shut down in this construction zone. It was already slow, and now we're stopped, and now we're closed. Again, northbound 65 after Raymond on the south side. Also closed, eastbound 70 at Hancock County going to Henry County. Eastbound 70 shut down after State Road 9 because of an earlier semi-fire. Traffic is stopped past Fortville Pike, almost to County Road 200 West. So to be able to avoid the stop traffic, I'm bailing out at Mount Comfort Road going south to US 40 and picking it up from there. Eastbound 465 north side, slow before and after Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. A 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon today, mostly after 3 o'clock. Otherwise, a high of 90 with some clouds throughout the day. 70 right now with a few clouds in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 13 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Will I grow up to be a man? Will I dig the same things that turned me on as a kid?
Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A bunch of stuff to talk about. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. I'm not one to bash Tesla just for the sake of doing it, or I'm not politically motivated to do it because Elon Musk has said negative things about President Trump. Oh, yeah, the theme. All right, sorry. We'll do the theme first. This is the Beach Boys. I don't know what this show is. There was a show that used this theme song? I have no idea.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, nothing. I got nothing for this.
Matt Bear?
I forgot we were even playing the theme song game because this doesn't sound like a theme song at all to me.
This is the Beach Boys. Am I right?
This is the Beach Boys, but it's not a
Oh,
TV show.
crap. I thought we were playing
We got that part. We both knew that part.
This is Melrose Place, Craig.
What's that?
Melrose Place.
Okay.
No, I missed that too. Sorry.
Yeah, Carl, we have no idea. Is it a TV show?
It's apropos to what we've been talking about. It's men of a certain age.
Oh, okay. Was that a popular TV show?
It was on for 2 years.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I think it was on right after Mystery Science 3000.
Gotcha. That was Ray Romano. Yeah, there we go. Ray Romano was in that show. Okay, I get it.
Absolutely.
This is great. Men of a certain age. Oh, thank you. Now I understand why you're doing that. All right, I totally forgot we were doing it, Carl, because that totally didn't sound like a theme song at all.
Because you're a man of a certain age and you're growing senile.
That's correct.
I'm trying to find fallen power cables on 65
there you
right
go.
now.
I'm going to get back to the setup for my other story. So I'm not one to bash Tesla just because of it being popular or whatever for political reasons and Elon Musk. But I do know that Tesla has self-driving features that sometimes demonstrate that AI is still way away from taking over everything. The latest story is apparently out of Pennsylvania, where Tesla loves to drive on train tracks. If you have it in self-driving mode and it's going somewhere and it sees train tracks, Tesla often thinks that that's for cars. And for some reason, it starts driving on them. A family of 4 had to get out of their vehicle, and then it got crushed by a train. It wasn't like, a split-second decision thing. They got out way before. the Tesla wouldn't get off the train tracks, and eventually they just watched it get squished by a train. But this is a weird feature that Tesla's working on trying to fix. If you have a vehicle that goes into self-driving mode and loves to be on train tracks, they don't know what to tell you right now. But eventually, hopefully, they'll be able to convince the car that train tracks are not a perfect place for it to go.
Make sure you buy that True Coat. That's
there you go.
They got left onto the tracks. Whoa, I don't want to. My Tesla's acting weird here today.
It kind of makes sense, though, right? Like if for a computer to be like, well, this is perfect. Like I'm driving home and I got this giant path directly, here, and it seems like it's made for a vehicle, so I'm going to drive on it. To be honest, as a human, I've wanted to drive on train tracks tons of times.
Oh, yeah.
I've just never done it. Yeah.
It's like Stand By Me. You got to dodge the train.
Right. Exactly. I get it. But again, hopefully they're able to fix this problem sooner rather than later for anyone that is annoyed like these people are.
Until then, you're on your own. Sorry about your luck on the train tracks.
Whoops-a-daisy. Other things out there that I love, hiring surged in June. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but a whole bunch of people are getting brand new jobs. Earlier this year, they said the job market was bad, and it was struggling because of unknown certainties and political stuff. Apparently, that's all gone. Summer jobs are through the roof. This is a good thing, I imagine, to a whole lot of people, especially people who want to jump ship. If you're thinking about trading jobs, they're saying now is a great time to do it.
Do we put AI in the job count yet? Like, say there's a new AI program that counts as a job. Okay, I was just thinking.
Yeah. Are you saying that we should put into the job things how many robots got jobs?
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Humans. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
That's either a positive or a negative, but we could be like, 1,000 robots also got hired.
Well, give it a decade and they're going to run the world anyway. So that's kind of how I feel about AI.
That's true.
I have the tinfoil hat on.
No, it's totally fine.
AI.
I already surrendered to our robot overlords, just so they know.
It's easier that way, man. I'm just saying.
It is. It is, man. I'll do robot content on the radio, no problem. It's going to be great stuff. Yeah. One other thing that I saw, and I think I teased this topic earlier, and then I kind of thought I wasn't going to talk about it, but I can't help it. Charlize Theron is a very attractive lady. She's 49 years old now, the actress, and she recently did a podcast where she admitted that she had a, quote, one-night stand with a 26-year-old guy, and she was quite proud of herself for this. No one was surprised that the famous actress lady would attract a much younger man. Here's the audio of her talking about this and being proud of herself.
I don't have many of them. I'm sitting here sounding like I do. So when I do, I'm like, I should have done this in my 20s. Probably had 3 one-night stands in my entire life. But I did just recently a 26-year-old, and it was really amazing.
Yeah, I had to believe that. She is a very happy person in saying what she says about, the romantic rendezvous with a much younger man. What I think is interesting about this is nobody cares about the age gap because it's a woman who's older. Like men, we never care. We never discuss this. We never debate this. When we date somebody or have a one-night stand with somebody 20 years younger than us, it's news places. This, no big deal.
Yeah, my head didn't go there, so I had to process that for a second because, no, I didn't think of that. Yeah, it's different, I guess, whenever you're a man dating, I'm 47. If I date a 21-year-old, that's going to be looked at with a side eye, and I get it. But when Charlize Theron sacks a 20-year-old, it's all good. Listen, there's nothing about this I dislike. I love Charlize Theron. I love the fact she's hooking up with somebody younger. It gives me hope. I cannot think of a better way going into the Independence Day holiday than this story right now. I mean, I am fired up.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to some fireworks parties. I'm going to twerk. I'm going to shake the thing. I'm going to make some money. Stick it in the G-string. That's what I'm saying.
Anybody that is a heck of a bumper sticker for Matt Bear.
Oh, it's
anybody out there that needed some hope this holiday season, Matt has provided it. Charlize Theron might have a one-night stand with you.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
Amen, buddy. All right, you got traffic. I'll see you guys. Have a great holiday.
Happy holiday there, Craig. Looking at northbound 65, it has reopened at Raymond Street. Fallen power and cables as the infraction traffic is completely stopped back.